Jamagana phone na kwaba enne anopei yedeba asem yi dika dwumadie iso asem yi dika dwumadie yedebrɛw ayememe de bia na aya nana ya akonadu woma fa fitie mu nkomo amayi die na ye no ya hyase entententententententem na ye de adwendwen ye my Ghana ho ye ho kwaipa o my Ghana se de da meka no ye de o my ne beko aya na ye tera sese ya sabi enya agudie bi enti ene ebetena sinemom se beye ne adwendwen ye man ho na oman na tumetu mpon oman na tumegyina ne nan so na ye hu se sei ena ye oman na amanyosem na ye no ye amanyosem no e de ye oman ni yie ye amanyosem no e de chichiro oman no ye amanyosem no e de pia oman no e de konkan na enye se ye amanyosem no biara Abusia me mobibia kwa aba. Midin Ede Magjerio say AGYEMAN. Yatena se na no pay. Ye ba bedwendwen ye ho. Ye bedidi ye ho nkomo. Ye behwe nsema na wotwe mu. Akoso yie pa. Strike actions ahodo. STEM education. And nanado da kwakufu ado ede soso de bo fom. Ye hwe eye the welfare of the security na wotwe mu 6.1 million Ghana cedis akwakoye medical emergency fund ya danedi ediama eye aposifo eba bebo mo ho ban menu mienu bambo etini ebisa ye security agencies so far sedia etie ye dwen wo mo ho sesika yi sedia eba beto hoin saranso na ye hwe eye ka kwanhia edi yenya ewo yemayimo ka kwanhia edi yenya ewo yemayimo wohwe eye last year na nipa womoto anananom ewo nsiedo ewo ka kwanhia nko mu no eye about 2000 a little over 900 ejese nipa eto anananom ewo nsiedo ka kwanhia nko mu afiwe ye hya ase ka kwanhia ahya ase yɛne nipa bi krampo na ɛhyɛ ase o na ɛso kaa kwanhyia yi ɛde wɔn kɔ eti yɛ commitment ɛfa ɛyɛ kaa kwanhyia ɛho yɛ kwan so ɛkwan so djojo no yɛgu so a yɛyɛ na ɛkɔ akɔba sɛ akwan no so no ɛna yɛnhu yɛyɛ asoɔdene ɛwɔ yɛ kwan so wohwɛ a moto cycles wɔmatiti moto so ɛno na eku nipa paa motorcycles ne ku nipa papa eti ɛdeɛ na yɛyɛ de afa ho ku nipa over 1,000 because car na mo kura ku nipa bɛ 989 but motorcycles nko ku nipa over 1,000 moto enti ya tension ɛwɔ car kwanhyia ho na ɛdeɛ ya tension sɛ yɛbɛfa so na yɛtimi de aboa na yɛde hyehyɛ ɛde agu kwan attention a yɛde ma no ama bi a ho hia te sɛ covid-19 ɛne attention a yɛde ɛma kaa kwanhyia ɛte sɛn kaa kwanhyia ɛde yɛwu sɛ covid yɛsi ekunyen ti ne ani abere a yɛde compulsory yɛfrɛ sɛ vaccination yɛde aba ɛyɛ yɛ ports akodoɔ ene wo ko institutions akodoɔ mu na sɛ won wɔ paneɛ ne bia yɛma okura nkonkowuram ɛyɛ aban nnwuma binom won wɔ paneɛ na yɛma okwan sɛ bekuram ne nyinaa ne sɛ yɛnim sɛ covid na ekunyen ɛno ti ne yɛde nhyehyɛ yɛde egu fam no na sɛ covid ekunyen na covid mpo March na yenya 2 years na wohwe nipa dodo a covid akum na wohwe nipa dodo a 2 years ne ka kwanhyia kum nipa over 5,000 2 years covid nso March na eba Ghana na enya 2 years nipa san na akum bidie ba nipa dodo sen it is a ka kwanhyia tima kum nipa be over 5,000 na covid akum nipa little over 1,000 within 2 years efa hin na say yede yadwen yekọ attention no yede kwan because yenye ka say covid ni bedi yenya na covid ni ba be kunyen na covid ni be say economy covid nipa by March no na menya sure say do 2,000 by March na enu 2,000 but ka kwanhyia atimi akunipa 5,000 in 2 years moma yakeka no amanisi ani yie o ka kwanhyia akunipa 5,000 in 2 years covid-19 ba ye no akunipa sese mame check statistics no na yenhwe ebia the latest we no betimi ama yenya the informed decision say the kura nipa dodo sen na egu ewo eye covid mu covid ne ba ye no say the amaka 2020 na ba ye na ye wo 2022 March na enya 2 years enti ka akwanhyia bepacho ya tension wo ho anything ya tension e wo ho anything aya worry situation debia kwa na ekosoro debia afi aya 2020 nipa ewu ye no 2021 womodo so sene 2020 2021 wobodo so nipa ewu ye e wo ka akwanhyia m ye ka no wo ma ewu mpo ne ye ka wo ma prepra wo ma dampem wo ma yetwitwa wo nsa no wo nan wo mo da ho e je se wo ma pre yie e fa ka akwanhyia me no krampo de ye mfa mai ba wei no eye wo mo a ato nana no mo nse ye de wo ka akwanhyia mo 2 years mo me fa kwa adwudwi mu wo a wutie me asema me ken wo ye Ghana ni ba wadwe kire wo ho ne sen enkomo ya enanopa yedi wadwe kire e wo ho ne sen sa in 2 years ka kwahia tima kum nipa 5,000 and over na in 2 years yehwe covid akunipa little over 1,000 eti what are we doing ede ne ye de afa ho ede ampa ne ye de afa ho ye betra tra on ye bada road na road safety authority na hwan transport ministry road safety authority the driving unions ɛdeɛn ne yɛyɛ de afa ho ɛdeɛn ɛna yɛyɛ ɛde afa ho because they're worrying ɛyɛ worrying your attention on road carnage ɛbɛyɛ yɛn nneɛma ɛbɛtumi regulate your speed na speed limit no because akwan ne sɛ yɛsɛ yɛbɛdu carriage ɛfiri nkran ɛde akɔ Kumase no efiri nkran ɛde akɔ Takoradi efiri Volta region ɛde aba nkran efiri Kumase akɔ hɛn ɛha adwen paa kyɛ sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛhwɛ na yɛtumi ɛka biribi paa ɛde fa ho yɛtumi tena hɔ na ka akwanhyia ɛnni yɛnya saa ɛdeɛ na asɔfoɔ ɛyɛ afa ho ɛdeɛ na yɛnsɛnkyerɛfoɔ yɛyɛ afa ho ɛdeɛ ɛna akyerɛkyerɛfoɔ ɛyɛ afa ho ɛdeɛ na yɛyɛ afa ho sɛ 2 years ka akwanhyia bɛtumi aku nipa 5,000 over 5,000 na yɛkɔkɔɛ sɛ yɛyɛ ɔman a yɛmfa ho yɛte hɔ na COVID aku nipa 2 years COVID aku nipa little over 1,000 payo search mame bepɛ sɛ menya COVID number ne yie 2 years no March na enya 2 years COVID aku nipa be 1,000 na no ne yɛne abere ɛde sika wuragura baabi na ka akwansia de ne de akwakwasa ne de yɛmfa ho ɛyɛ worrying situation very 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 worrying situation Ghana kehwe Ghana COVID 2 years no because March na nya 2 years COVID akunipa 1,336 bebe calculate in 2 years ka akwansia de akunipa ka akwansia sɛ de akunipa ɛyɛ a worrying situation a ɛna no pay ɛka bi issues ho a yɛde to ɛpono so na yɛtumi yɛde ho nkɔmɔ ma yɛnkɔ ama no so na ɛyɛ odiifoɔ Christian Kwabena Andrews yɛbɔ ne mmara ne frɛ no ɛyɛ sɔfo kyirabosom na ɔyɛ amanyoni saa nyɛ sɔfo na manyoko yɛfrɛ no Ghana Union Movement brano ɛne di nkɔmɔ on national issues ho kaniti a ɛfrɛ no gum yɛnkɔ na yɛne papa ɛni nkɔmɔ papa ɛna no pɛ yɛ mo akye
majoso minia
afisha papa
afin komatu yendio
na bepa cho ho te sen
nyame ado boko
ye de nyakopa ase we di ansa me no begura eya ada issues mo no nkɔmɔ ya mi di ɛfa ɛyɛ ka akwanhyia ho papa ye te ha 2 years ye keka bomu a ɛyɛ 2020 and 2021 ka akwanhyia akum enipa over 5,000 in year can you COVID eba ye 2 years March na COVID ba Ghana no na enye 2 years akunipa 1,336 bahwe awokeka ene ahoden ne attention na yede ma COVID pa eti ebisa se ka akwanhyia yi papa are we committed as our mind say ye ku atia ka akwanhyia edi enya wo yeman mo
me da sipi me chia ati for enina ene antefo no Facebook nyina de me kan say ye eman mo no adi bi lipa bi ye bia onye ma owie ma kaye osua kaka onsua malinti kitani ne daka na wo ya onye malinti obia ti fa baabi ti me hye baabi akeke na watu no de na kwaso fo minu ya be ma police ni so a on so example so o check ya utimi check malinti esanse ujina ka no krampo a wo check no passengers special say akasa adena wo delay ebienti na wa esi ene police ni nyina ka enkasa so o highlight ma mehwe on nyina ka enkasa ma mehwe o brake light police nya kan ka say your break in the show mama hwe set to say in ho because already no moment so be gina car now be say afa no amafo betu ya no gu so power car no no e doso enti no ese say yitumi adwene tade we nyina ho na fi ye ba ya kwan no so ye care ba hodo a e wo kwan mu doso dodo minim senka major road like Mosi na fi mo se kef ye kwan a e kabo any contractors e dem om na e na se omuntumi ya committed say ade de man no why no dey fan engineer wo kwakofia so mu say ye ka so mfamfa and so therefore baby adwene no so so the fan be easy amano ntino na e wo kwan mu ahodo on so doso ntino see dey bo bi so bo no de ye fa every okol ye fa bi mabo abai on my duty sir that car so abo ye thing to the sense say e could do baby a net ta ko ba say twamene bi e dia to so wa say akwakoto Benz e wo abochimemu Benz no e so 20,000 yeah 20 US dollars I'm say 1.2 billion me fanasa now ba be port now port for say a 2020 model and you know you bet you see 7 million just half of price and na or the abai aje e ko botomu it is said then so be the badia and you know kotonia e ya mo sa na be bakura no sin kenyi ni kesi utombo no bana be du Ghana dia e mo ba oh ya ji mo 50 million the bank carry you for amudi tare se ne be to ka mo ko to ka dan na bedura kai di to small no isi ka ketwa inti nya de se men ha me hon to ka da ana men to ka ye twi ama na ye yi en mai en the bus transport bi abi se the car we ye ya pe no oh ma me fan ko aban bi ko atimi sacrifice ka se kai bi e free e bi a 20 years ko bi a no ye crash ni na aban etwa buske bi ato wo se obese obo ho ka na odima o ka no bra uba se edi 20 years ko nkoa de ye gini na afiri o man mu na fi ebi a ya se ne de na de no akoye na de fo ko akoye ayo ro so ni ade na fi aban no etwa sika bi aka se munyina obi a meje uba o pake ka na si wonu ma na bi a waji bi a mefa se 100 million and 200 million na fi na se edin di so ka bi a wo se bi se bi ama na ti adwene ho se de abuchimemu enne o do mo ho ti ka no bi a 10 years ko kra no wuti bi mpensi kwa so e wo o man mu na so nyina ya hwebu nyina na se ekoso encourage se nipa nkoso nyusu ka no ene ka bi wo kuruma se odi be 50 years enso no yenya kika bo mu aka wo ya so ani a papa afi bo se na da ba bi kungun enhwe ba bi se ye ka koba ye yusu eno so hu hia e wo hwe ka koba na ye yusu na o ka koba yusu na ka koba na ye yusu no na se o hwe se abuchire wadanko ena yesu ye wadanso nko edi na nkroma ba ya obibi mo satellite no ye wada no ya kriti ye wo ye no ba na ye bia no ha no eti ye wada na ye bia ye bo ha etimi wada no wa ha eti se kiti ye ai ne dia ekibiti maboa ne so ye nye tai ena de ya na se akoti boni de na wotwia ma ayegi no ebe ba no wo se ye mo no enso ache ho ntino eche se aspire dada ena emra so mo se aspire ti bia ntare ho okokoto no hu se efe ena wakoto ebi okura na se de wa woni tue enu ma be pre won ma ye mpa bo issue ko edi sei Ghana for ko fefra bo chiri ba na okwa eye mo so ko obi anfa na nhye mu eso to wie within just about 6 months later we tia wa go se na ase no na proper because ya che a good stock acha aspire ne de ba me ato nti saa na te se yetwi ya tutu ne meyi wo saa kwa no so a ya nhwe si binya me ma eye ofo na ebema tutu na nkasa akoyi nti se time no be bidu pe oto sha ase wo kwa pewu apai di nipa akohwo ye spare pastor ebeye di be nyina agira Ada da would we use Ghana. If you check it, then you need a babu, and then so obviously no one license. Uncle Okra, because of the Ghana, I could do baby say, Oka Kura Bedura, put me the traffic, Esuma, and the license the car amount. Can then count before part say, the bell license Okara. It's a car no, a cop, a Yakuti so like, it's your break, your way, enforcement, BBI, you're checking in every and Sana, license officer no, Eba, test officers, bathroom, BBI, winning care, than 10 months the fuck up. Then so then, so what you what a piece of nobody cabin still want to pay. Now, someone your license, man, what's all the people that should be inside of a banana numbers you grow. Yeah, a better talent. Say papa, say your papa, and one say the other. And you know, Nina, sit no, you know, in a mom. Yen to be pebbing fast as my make a cake home. Near the area, via na a bit my boy, I mean, the Biaca. The license no grand came a GPLT for no, and custom mumna, Emma prover, and family pa. No, mum, fan letter, no call license officer, say, Papa near testing, your whom said, and sana, Yamaquine and care, Yamak. Then go on one casta, what GPLT for, and say, a transport a year to Kuahu no. Yɛbɔ sama bitwi na nimum enkwɔhyɛ license office for nsa wode ɔkɔ sɛ wɔn a control transport wɔ ɔman no mu no approve ama krataa kyerɛ sɛ aberanteɛ wɔyɛ yɛatɛste yɛhunu ɛfiri sɛ wɔbɛtumi agye license a ɔba bɛduru pa a kanti tu kaa no yɛhwɛ wotu na ɛba so saa na ɛde wɔn no na nka ama no license ɛso na deɛ nte saa GPRG for no or a use car near station. I would want to any view car and one thing for Conacogen license or the other. It is sanity.
Na ye ken aya na aban policies ni nyina no ejina aban so say aban be rane be putu no ma in place be jesa ye betumi de agu akwan mu na ye hu say ye de be regulate yes aka akwan hie na simple posifo na say mo gina kwan mu na elemete ye speed mirika tenta ye tutututu we yakwan tempon so because wo kwa kakra na obeto barrier okwa kakra na ebia onim say barrier wo ho ntida bia no wo nam so a na driver ne nam so a no ho say ente say okomirika ma no boro so ente say oye unnecessary overtaking bia because onim say nanim kakra bi no obekwa akwato police barrier ewo ho yetimi ye bibisa na papa ye fa regulate mirika tenta yetu ewo yakwantempo ahodo so
me kiri sɛ no ɛfa baabi bɛboa na fa baabi nso ɛbɛha adwene kakra ɛka sɛ barrier no so ɛwɔ time bebree ɛna yɛposi dodo a bɔpɔ dodo a ɛwɔ ɔman no mu no ɛnso ɛntimi mma yɛ saa ayi no sɛ posifoɔ ha barrier ɛno nso wɔ time ɛwɔ so sɛ wɔkɔ a ɛno wobɛkyɛ bebree ɛna aposifoɔ no bi nso yɛ efficient ebi nso wɔ no mu a obetuma wista obi obetuna won sa obi keke udu ani won mo ke eso na ka na sala ten e dey no ese checkpoint after checkpoint udu won so a on review and once we twem on review once we twem tan ko ano e mi se beboa e be san we sitam ne mo no yen ka se de wo ken se fi se enka won mo check cars no ne durability and then the wealthy on the road side, you know, it may be your Mojuma ye na drivers that almost with them, Monsieur Mojuma ye a bit my boy. And then speed limit here, I'm going to push body on the check your coin so pray. The future thank you for educating go for the educating ye. And then who do hallo, you won't set speed a year one of action. At the end of Penoir, na Yabonoco, a catch and send net, Yarocodo at the atoll. Na ekpo ne fa so echina enya de se nye bia na se di ni benefica ana ne kokko edu ebu ma kokko bon ba ko mienu nyen samba pe wona se ti age fu se obi abaye bereke se enka eba na ka polisi ni gina ade no so na wo pagya na nsase ya pe afei wachewo oba ya wote ene otu bi camera box yedi ka bo kokko oban mu ena to so mienu and they say, who the red line? police member be a better fire, every balance office panel, a bunch of pretty vulnerable code staff for me, like so near tagging the problem, and one the license of home. What I say, it is any part of starting being more. A yana, a year secretary, will be able to move around. What my open after Timmy, this can be clear. Now, a compass say, who you mistake to say, nurse in your one which you may move, who you will be one as it through Sana, but if you know you have any be more. If I told, oh, very careful. And so, your mother be a secret can attach it. Who is the cat touch it, Embra Sana, or be prescribed to you? So, M1, even an American call system, think I think or may we decide to say, young will be untold Yasibi. Then so say, we could do court and I bonnet. Na ye would for we pa, ye jilwa, yes, Cocome, a blue bag Macoma 200. Okoto, one produce a blue bag Marco 200. Am I near the Biaco school feeding and the Biaco hospital? And you know, that Ubia Yanaka won't face the cap and the exchange data in the Cophobic Subone. Dan said, Yedisica, after all, you're quite bad finally. Yeah, final say, as you at least finally best 200 million krana, Minian Cophobic to Amame. It's Bonnie also. Oh, nay, a quite beyond the yes, who go with speed. Yes, you are their target. Who go with speed, yes, you are their target. A corporate and spy, as you like to say, a multi-million lines in Kaka, a woman who be one. I mean, think of it.
Okay, Joe. Yabetwe na yetimi edit same attention na yedema covid yetimi ye de amaka akwanhia ede no magu akwamu na etimi aboye ho ban kakra me gidi so no me adwen sa
ye covid na stem de mi twa no ye covid na stem na ye penyin for gidi de MDC kana mo de ko gidi ye and because me who say enema ekum ni pa o men mo no diabetes ni pressure no it's more than the covid normal mo ye what I say any emu hunu na mo de hunu na yen ene na covid le mi covid bia o covid no why wa buchi me mo kum wo mo itri for the kum wo breathing for mo and kwa dem say breathing kwa dey still am lockdown what I say e kuma le kum wo any part no say ne ba omo anu e pie nipa yo ne do mu ko mo kom number and on board the line into two and so Ghana any person they wo because so diabetes the pressure kum nipa more than what you see and now okay accident e kum nipa more than 1,000 plus na wo kan say what I say nipa e wo de enye se nipa be wo de and so oboka tem say covid e kum nipa be 1,000 and you know e say nyina ye hu say and ye ne disike kowura ha na look as if say yen say immune kwachiri because enema e kum ye mai mu no ha dwen na mi mu e rubber bi on social media wa hange no and then the back etwa wa hange no sa e dey na kum no what I say now e bi mpo na be manager no onye campaign fi abofrey onye aduane ni enti ekumi de next by so ka o man ye do say the free kwame kuma so be do sa be sabri nkete say de mpo a nka enkoran keto ho sochi akakra bi de nka bata bit menya e de ato mo ko bi ni e bi de amana baby I don't the man because we are producing the children for our country mo fama ono no ho neso say Ghana ye jai enkoran fi ni na de abo ahofo sunti no e bia na omo tete na omo high enti ama differences happen and then what radio station nyame azuma betan what say dey only movie obituma po bibi kakaka ama de aso ahwe ma oba tem bi so ne bani wade pa do woni bi nti no why na etwa so na wakafo enti senka itimi ye standard da yibi o say enti say dey ya enka say ne ke itimi bo ni panyina pepe pa enke ni panyina bitima ko nani so no ayi mu ahon chirenti
yasemo papa ye free ho a yenhwe eye nkomodi a ehyaase afimu ni nyina ne fa eye benchmark value discount a ekoba se abenye de ba ye 2019 omo esan ba be ye free ho na afi ekoba se yatwe asensen omampanye directives afi de watwe asensen indefinitely kra because ye nim se ade we yanhwe ni na ba obi nka nkyere wo se ebema no amabo no eshutu yi pa ade kokoba ye bepacho o hwe directives if from mampani ho ba ye na ne kwan ano no ana
o mampani bi a wo yi die eno kwasem ni me hu kun se obeta ade die su nyina we ni number 1 ade a wo yi a mɛbɔ na baso mɛka sɛ nyame nyina wɔ so ma no kwatenten ne ka de aka no de a enke mɛka sɛ nnɛ kora no nko ɔntena fie ne yanyi ahome ne mom no ade wo ya wayɛ die nyame hyira because uni ade no ne nka ɛba no ɛyɛ ade a emu du ebe afɛti bibia wɔ Ghana sɛ bi wokɔtɔ ade o wokɔkɔ bunsuo wokɔyɛ woyɛ o wokɔ sɛ ɛka ɛbɛ ma Ghanafoɔ nyinaa yɛ ahiafoɔ ɛnɛ no already no obi a na ɔwɔ capital of bi a 200 million ɛmfa na ɔmampanyin ɛbɛtena so no ɛnɛ ne sika no ɛnyɛ 200 million bi but ɛyɛ 70 million because adibalu ayɛ ketewa bi eti ne sɛ na otumi de kɔfa nneɛma ɛbɛsɛ articulata ma a sika no ntumi mfa articulata no ɛbɛtumi afa ayɛ kɔta ntumi mfa half because sika no mu akyɛ aba fam wotasɛ in natural sense sɛ wode mmeɛmfa dollar rate koraa nyɛ ɔmapanyin bɛɛ na 4 point biribi ɛnɛ ɛyɛ 6.45 or 6.55 eti hwɛ wotumi sɛ 50% plus abɛtɔ so nneɛma kɔ so na edu baabi a yɛnka no sɛ sɛnka adeɛ wei baa mu a ɛbɛha dwe nyame hyira no sɛ wɔtu saa anammɔn yi saa na wɔntu anammɔn nso mfa mmɔmu no ho ɛma yɛn saa na wɔntena se no wɔnwene ho sɛ COVID-19 aduru a yɛde brɛ yɛn no wɔntena se no wɔnwene ho sɛ yɛmfa nkɔ lab na yɛnsua mpokɔhwɛ mu yɛde gyene ɛne bese ɛne akakaduro ɛne yɛ sɛ duro no a doctor sɛ wɔ Ghana anhwɛ mi hunu yɛnsua mpokɔhwɛ gyene ne bese ɛne akakaduro no pɛnyɛ deɛ nyenya sɛ obi a ayɛ ne deɛ aba no no atwerɛ ho sɛ mede ɛyi nwa nsuo mede wei ɛne kabo mu na yɛyɛ na wɔn atwerɛ no de abrɛ wo na ɔsɛ WHO bi ɔte baabi no agye ato a wɔn WHO ɔnyɛ papa ɔnyɛ maame yɛnim no nyɛ ɔna ɛwɔ yɛn ɔno n'asɛm kyerɛ sɛ ɔno wagye ato World Health Organization yɛnnua bi a ofiri Ghana ha koraa wɔn bi ebi a ɔbɛkɔ meeting no wɔ da onim deɛ kɔɔ soɔ eti now eti yɛnye wɔn mo nsɛm wɔn de bɛpere yɛn ni na yɛn ni ayɛ ho sɛ yɛbɛgye yɛn ho adie eti adi nti na yɛmfa aduro yɛ adi abɛn nkɔla yɛn nkyɛke nneɛma a ɛwɔ ho no sɛ raw materials yɛde yɛ no ɛna yɛnyɛ bi wɔ ha yɛn kra bi mma ne yɛhyɛ mfa ma yɛde ehunu sɛ adeɛ no ɛka bɔ nka bɔ mu ɛni ampa dan sɛ obi see watwerɛ wɔ ho yagye ne yɛde wɔ nkɔfoɔ eti no me deɛ mefiri ano ma bɛte asie san sɛ ɛnɛ na agya menyamɔfi de kɛkyɛ zu kasa na ɛsɛ mepɔɔ no ɔma nyina gu wɔ prɛko enti bɛserɛ sɛ ɔmene ɛno nso ho na ɔmode ne mmra no ho so no ho sɛ ne citizen no ayɛ ma ɔman mu no yɛho hia de ma ɔno ne ɔman no nyinaa ewiase nnipa nnim ho a wabrabɔ no ani gye anim yɛde nipa ne yɛ nipa yɛde nipa nso na ɛhyehyere man enti nnɛ no sɛ yɛbɛwɔ yi ɛyɛ yɛ mma ɛne yɛbɛka so eti wɔn sɛ bi a ɔmo ngo ba daakye ɛpa ne yɛ wɔ yi enyi ne sɛ bi a ɛbɛmi yɛ kidney anaa ɛhaw bi abrɛ nipadua no mu mpa ne a ɛbɛ yi enyi ne sɛ ɛbɛma mɛɛma kora ɛwuwu daakye yɛwɔ mu ani ɛyi bi ɛda anim no deɛ mu sɛ ɛho sɛ nkɔfo yi sisi yɛ o malaria ɛne ɛyi pressure no mu ahoa diabetes abayɛ soɔ de enya deɛ nneɛma no mu nya wɔn nya no duro da widi bidu yɛ apɛ nansa ɛnɛ kwa de nan hɔ mebe yɛ sɛ bɛ sɛ omicron no so ba yɛ wɔn nso wɔn yɛ duro yɛde ba look at this nti no me deɛ wɔhwɛ momo ɛne saa yɛ duro a ɛwɔ yɛ no so ɛkakra ma me na wɔn de ne mmerɛ no so mfi sɛ no so bi te ma boa ma man no ɛkɔ nti adeɛ wɔyɛ firi hɔ no deɛ nyame hyira ne mmom no ma wɔn nyɛ daadaa kra me deɛ npp foɔ minimum administration yɛyɛ firi hɔ so na ɛnam esuase kakraka ne edi ewu ne yɛnim process ɛmo de ewie ɛno deɛ ɛwɔ hɔ papaapa amampanyinfo bebree hɔ nom a ɔbɛba abɔnten abɛka aka akyerɛ wo sɛ sisi no yɛyi adeɛ wɔ yɛ firi ɔmapanyina asɔspɛnde ɛso mo sɛ ne nam ase ɛyɛ adwuma bere a yɛnyɛ awɛ na sɛ yɛn no bebree no ɛntumi nkɔ anim kakra wɔ saa no kwan no so ɛnso na yɛbi mmea yɛn eti ɛsɛ sɛ ɔkɔ deɛ ɛnna na wɔn nyɛ mmara bi ka wɔn sɛ obi bɔ ma panyin mmara so wɔde saa adeɛ no bɛyɛ adwuma biara no yɛsɛ na wɔn kɔ afiase na ɛtumi aboa yɛn eti ɛda na sɛ ɛwɔ saa adeɛ yi a wɔso suspend no
Okay. Two questions. One, ebefa COVID dear no wadwen but the awoken ye bisa se ye wo no many bi wo ha papa. Oman no na ka yetimi ye bi wa ha o. Me de mutitiri wa na me boso. Bibi te se ebia ensuo. Bibi te se biscuit se Ghana ha yenya companies a wokɔ ye dwaman so a wo mo ye biscuits. Kama pa. Bibi te se ye chocolate a yedi ewo ye manyi ye ewo ye manyi mo saa no amananka ye wo ehwo ahoden kakra ye de ye no ho no ye ntimi nhwe ho na companies na wo mo ye saa no amana de mayen no de na nanka yetimi protect wo mo yie na wo mo nso atimi aye amane yie na de ye ntimi nye ne mom no na ya ma akwan adeda ho na yetimi akra e de aba o mayen mo nti no tofa bonu se nke ye be review items na sa benchmark value discount no na affected no what na me ya adwen
me no ya adwen wo kwan bi so it say ye me bonu senka o mapanyi bi ehun se no me wo ho raw materials wa ibiti bi aye bi no wo ba companies a eye stade no mina no tax no emra from kra nanka omontimi mpagya na oman no emmamufo no patronize nanka intimi moa esanse senkania yeni wo memu beba no na se wo ne ebi wo memu na so bi free baby ba amma no ba for de na beba no ebo no akoso na amaye memu de no so ebo fom kama na ade se ebi pepi no ade ba ko kakra wo se don ko produce bibi in a large quantity a ne bo no eba fom in a small quantity ne bo no eyetin so wo de minua mayemfa tomato factory here. Be tomato factory. Na yaye. Ebra enye tractor, any machines, any dria, any ete, any the big work for the movement, the nakasa yam a produce the mine. Near be depending on a so neste kind, Memma, many perform for you too, so Modono, and Fichim Fitridia. And yet, you bet me, I'm a Ghana for your tomatoes, and the Akusina, and I say, get to me surprise. If you do, baby, you better coin. And the only thing is, say, you bet to me, companies are. Your biscuit and it's any cabin biscuit no so okay na your cabin no your way no way picadal no one no and so na omina na no memo because na your way bunch no your way am bit ma kan dey ma bom bit ndi aye yes no support so there be no money by account one district one factory no and yes sir no the efife and I know despite company limited wo ma wo yi ni human one body one district one factory esika if it's on one kata na jema say abandon to no si wo it is no bit to say the chocolate said the walking any biscuit a very simple ta yen kwala na pe no mu di na o health na ebe man kura na nyi adache no yen enye Ghana for responsibility na ade a yidi ni sa kwa no ko ye mofra ni pedua mu de yen ma foreigners bi emisum emfa bibi akeke man mani ni na ze nim ne ode ye ene de ode ebre ye ma no it is say yes wo mem ye won katie na ye wo this me fa say beans wo ye wo eburu ye we na yentimi trase emma yem plan say bitimi aye nuane e de ama mo frank to a wo ye be ye tof ye we kube ye wo ayi wo wo and now me ye communion service when ade abde ye communion service nia me di so bolo de wo
Esa
and ye communion service which I say because me who say me kokototo nkofo no mo ani bi ma me nkofo no mo a me wan na me dey ba no me I don't believe in it. I believe in sobolo, I believe in honey. What I say yeah honey ne sobolo in the fry oh no you it tastes well do coffee I be very nice and you know yeah the nyama e betimi ama ye ma no e betimi di no matrase ache e de ma wona je da say e di won shebre no won kwa ko sha ho from sem and the china ni abetre krum ha wo ye drink na onu ma say ye ni kwa mo fa so ye session to krum na drinks na pie ni enko for no na we no e betimi ahadin enti ye bese senka ye nyemre bi se nka ni ani edi ko ni pedua mu de e be ba no na ehun se we de ye kama than say because I think tomatoes go a yimbe that semi can obi dike say so sɛ meka sɛ mbɛsɛ mebie company bi a Chinafoɔ no medi nkita ho ka kyerɛ me sɛ ɔmbɛdi kan asɔpra bi de aba na mu deɛ ɔmde ba no sɛ mepɛ deɛ ne boɔ fo paa deɛ a ɛgye sɛ no ɔmde ɛsam ɛne soya bean ayɛ tin tomato no ɛno na bɛma no boɔ no aba fom ama me ɛno na mɛtumi atɔn no Ghana na mmom deɛ tomatoes wɔ paa deɛ ne boɔ den and this means that deɛ ɔmo sɔpra brɛ yɛ no ɛdwuma ɔmo didi yɛ no ɔmde colour no flavour no ho ahoa no prapra no ɔmde abrɛ yɛ nanso sɛ nka yɛtena sɛ hu sɛ deɛ yɛdi kɔ nipaduam biara sɛdeɛ ama binom dwen ho mo man ho te sɛ Canada ne US no before sɛ wobɛtumi penetrate ɛde aduane a yɛdie bɛwura mu no na ɔmo sɔ ahwɛ ansa yɛn saa ɛbɛtumi aboa nti woka no yɛma yɛ local no ɛbɛtumi atete amɔ nkwa ne sɛ abayɛ wura mu afa machines no amba ne amproduce more deɛ a yɛntumi improduce satisfy the needs of Ghana still I just say important and all the upper you decided to say a more yes will be a far more money within just 3 months time a more by the Ghana is that the Padulu Sinivia or any assorted kind of and to then with you produce more the moment say buy in a car your day a machines I buy the Bia more about put me Bia say maybe I'm away to ABA or the call a baby I'm going to be a piece of wow if you think a bit to up.
Okay, you. Na papa, COVID die ya wo kan ye. Ene wo hwe eye a doctor fo bi no ma edu baako. Wo ma petition o ma mpanyimpo e de afa eye COVID vaccine na ye wo no ho a wo mkrata no ko wo ka say vaccine no de. Ye ka say no na be so bibi a ye no a. Nti e ma ye ni nko ho, wo mo hwehwe mu a wo mo so kire say wo ma ye e de afa vaccine no ho. Nti ne mandatory say wo free amanone ba e say wo abanyuma binom and they say who could na who nick card ni bia krata ni e kire se wawo empane ni bia ya man wurem sana ade na kwakwa yo eti na ese yehwe na yesan hwe ni bia mu ompe de na wo kan ya
se wo se do se e ba tin be kan nyina so bi akora mo de mo ye ne akati nyina so se panel no wa se la betima nya bi panel no wa wo na betima ya basa kakra panel no wa ensese obi ntimi mfa bi enyew panel no so wa ensese covid wu nya bi enti what the essence of taking down injection adia nka wa your protection forever the covid no ntimi momura oda the way there yes say wa still out to be still I so you no smart still no so what and na enya sabelo it's the same five year you know kakra na poso ni enye do sene se mo ka ntum prekope if you say ade a me kwako wi me wo na me ko represent fama bibia nkamea fine unim mama ka we assessment kakra bi unia na na mo training carriage me ko training carriage wo atebu
oh okay
ayi we yare we say a friend said there e beto ho na pai bi no pai na yesuo
ananse
it's a taking post. This is Anansi Bisa. TC.
Anna, a yam,
very good. Very good. What's a honor? A hot area.
Yeah.
And at that time, so you need a yibe or protection. No, when you cry and mumpono, your guns should be near nominated and all that. The that won't be and I'm na bohos in be any home. It's tired in Betisi school. I want my class. And maybe me house na bedano na ebi nya meda enkofu yi wo da na jono na obi attitude ho nsuo da beka ho enka genche no ne bia yo ba mu ya ebi nya me obi anya bi nsuo na me kwa na me ne mu and of say chaplain with the we chaplain ti ne bi nya wo ni ade na omtimi ko fa mo support kra support from the future ho me support say ho no a me de kwa ko dware no o twitwini kuru na abamu na free nsuo no sabi am de be come ho ne bi on say school for they just want to try it.
Yeah
it is no me dem who say covid in the buy no e wo die nyame ye ene ne opese wo ye me ni say wa mo abaye ye ne Africa he Israel for na no bizum for nie na nsare ko so na nso na Israel 45 na bi nya wo nyame ni nya wo ye e be a trust number resource na on a free foreign country na de buy ye na kasa bi etia na ye hu covid bia and what you want mo yi see Minim say enano ne buy yeso nipa bibiri kogu baby say ye doma call because so many COVID. But once you aba betru di na pena on babon this of a babon say nipa no about more than half of them of what all. It's a kwan ben on pass on photo one. I didn't even pass our kwan so treat one mom bigger COVID for mine. As a okay.
Okay.
Mo brand so no the mo e tin gugu na we are COVID e ga na he time here you call lockdown so obekai.
Yeah.
And my mom you baby come from 20 bi no ye di koko Methodist University bi and then koko na ho e yes COVID for and we chaba TV so ye say we ko video and ya bebre and my bin mo ko di ya wo ho minya bi and o si menya bi amafo kata bi blo mo kra mo voices ni bebre wo e o mo yi so and you know all these people no later you call back the do say and then there e mo ho ato ya ngo COVID pan yo Muka say wo fafa yibi ne dem omo no me tiate na ye masade no anya adwuma e wo man no mu na yintimi ko yi.
Okay. Papa, enano pay yeda se ene ebra wonya edi amaye na afi we expectations e wo aban ho ene sen ede na ususu se afi ebeko na wie ye no na aban na timi aye.
Aban no de na ka me hwɛ sɛ nka ɔbɛmmɔdena na nka yɛtuane a yɛbɛdi no ɔbɛdwene ho ne nsuo mmienu pɛ yɛ na mepɛ sɛ nsuo yɛaduane ne apɔmuden saa nneɛma yi mmiɛnsa yɛ adeɛ a ɔman bi ne hia wɔn first sɛ no wɔ mu a asɛm bi ne hɔ hwɛ me nua bɛma ɛna nɔpɛ yi yɛnim mmeranteɛ ne mmabaawa a ɛkɔm de wɔn ɛdɔɔso yi nka aban no mmɔmmɔdena tensi mu sɛ ɔde tractors ade bi ama kankankan no nneɛma ne nhyɛ ase nkɔ a ɔne nhyɛ ase nnua within 6 months ne nnuane abu Ghana wotumi sɛ wopɛgye mu na wokɔkɔyi even ɛnsi ɛde ma yɛne no wotumi kɔtɔ bankye ɛtumi tɔ bɔɔdeɛ ɛmɛbi tɔ mako ne gyee n'ani adade ba a ɛbɛ guarantee site bebree nsuo no da hɔ no a aban pɛ sɛ ɔteɛ ne ɛwɔ sɛ bɛsi ndɛ nkɔfoɔ daadaa no sɛ wobɛtumi ateɛ ne wɔntumi anteɛ ne nsuo wotumi nteɛ ne because one thing is that a plan open a bit of my pastor say, obey education project. And my which with the machines up to the shoe, my tree should not pass as so. Ye did be a tomato in your door, near that day. Yeah, chicken in a free moon and shoe for Bani, it was shoe river banks and all. Now, if you fit never, that's any inhabited come. Let ye be a put no cabbages, no one day. When after no bamboo now go for tobacco near for many panel because any the power thing papa could crab in a corridor ha bedroom size of a farm be minimum if you didn't see so the only one that you qua which make your best about 20 bucks no doko then beer then get into and no any juma that pay yen chance say you beg drink and only a drink a pump then when him said they would be here who be up thing what I said because they are shared be another who we are. Remember, you have to so man, my hospital to be chuku. I'm a nipping your baby grandpa. Oh, me, I'm no say. Dr. B, no, my more catches about that. Dr. B, who are all my hospital that mean COVID that. And now, those who been over catches who says of the house of the top and some more crowd. Me, because me, yare. Again, here, you may be an idea, me, funny, I go be an amicator say, maybe a warning so will in a year committee. Me near the deal, we depend on the number bit as possible at all. I want money could be dominant. You keep me bunch of buying way near cop. And if you phone him in quite in Penyago, what I say, and you know, with this no, and you may boy, and no man will bomb me have a home, ham from and a man on the groove, and no name me dear, a bit to be a mamma for day. Perhaps no, a idea, it will be here. Nka ye ni encouraging kofo e ma omudi no na uma akrantie e ko wi ewura na awi a na wakodi ni bini sini bini akrantie bini de e de o ade na wo de onko problem bi na wo na nya ho ta akrantie awi nya be 150 and ye kuno na wo di ni bini de ye nkwan di ade na wo ye encouraging kofo na help no wo mfa nya dwuma na entime mu awo medwuma am ye help bebre ene na man ko hu bebre di atase o ya ba ya ko te aba we the issue never bow and pay my member bonus kakrebi to be a kuma again ya pe naba ha ishimono avocado pe abane ishimono
yeah
any tomato sa ankasa o de manem brand over french fish no no kakaka ni nyina bijai e be yiri have no nti no say ye timi depend on the way nyina ene eboa ene ke yeti mama ban afrefre ye mpanyimfo a AFC ene asofo mso ni mo nyame bi so akere won no e kan ho bom ene e kan nyina bom ye sase bituma ye no bia manu ama Ghana patronize on no bia na sa e pressure nu a ye to bre ye obi ane asa cho on mo ti be yo ya ofin be furu suo utimi na anajo obi se ne sa kofa ya bre ni nyina to betwa it won mean the health system no ye bia na e die na afi a bit me abone bia bia kan ba ensu hia ye transportation a ekumie no
yeah
ye ekwan no so paso kose no kan tete na na mafi akwadu ye no na eboa ekwan so ka driver for ye bom koko so kan mafi akwadu
oh yes yeah
very good paso kose mo ko no mo kwa so ankoa no kata kire eno etimi eboa na enne no ye nchekiri nyina eno ma bo ye fi se obi a woni pe enso get track e mo aye ko pe nke senka driver no o dia to radio station ho e bi e da ba bi nya good information fm e bi ye ku na ni hunu ye si enim ene ne wo enim ba e se ta driver for so mfanto to so emwa because eno ne beti mama say oh bibia sikwa mo ho enti wudru wa so hu ye enti passengers no driver point ya passenger bete oh you say e kwan so pc from announce say amot say worker you say accident BSc enti ento e boas na boa ni na itimi enkoketi into our people at the boa enti no ye nam kwaso nya na eti o man mo se ma reduce energy afi driver bi ko tema o dia shame na enyum bi o bi no oponyum emfa so bi amre ye ban nyina mu a ebe bi bi pe
okay baba enano pay die ye da se ene wo bra wanya ene wonso wadwenkyira wode aba beto o mamu ni nyina enim na yafa ho adwen aseda wode a gum
ya mi so obeti gum ye breath 2024 ye be say bi
yo nyagobon shira yene eye osofo chirabosom ayodi for Christian Kwabena Andrews ono no da manyoku a ye frɛ no eye Ghana Union Movement ano eye gum on ye no edi common comprehensively haye ni 100.9 wo so wadwen kyerɛn samagodo ane ye baba behwe ni titirim ka kwanhie die ya maboso na ye frɛ ne sanamotu a ɛsɛ yetumi etu edifa ho attention a ɛsɛ ye de 1336 make say nipa ewu ewo COVID-19 na mmom ka kwanhia in 2 years no ɛyɛ 5,000 over 5,000 persons ena ewu wofa diabetes ane diabetes daily graphic enim diabetes or say 15 lives ewu da bia just nipa 15 ena ewu ewo eye diabetes every day it is a way calculation no na say we say 15 times your friend is saying 15 times 30 a bachelor bosome nipa dodo a ewu ewo diabetes mo he said ani ye ka no eno ma ekun yen o manimu no enye easy o eno ma ekun yen ewo manimu no enya ade eda fom inti ese ye ma ya attention ekosa areas that's a car kwanhia betimi akumnipa eye 5,000 over 5,000 2 years na in 2 years na covid akunipa 1,336 a ena na ke yeka baabi ese ye de attention kwa na nanka ye he yeka baabi a ese se ye de attention ne kwa na nanka eye he anaka kwanhia ne de no say ye de attention kwa ye nya sika ye nya sika ye de be ya ana se ne sen ho to weni nyina na adwenkyira enne ye behwede ye din komo nsem no edoso egu apono so na otwe mo benchmark value discount no ewo ho mampanye indefinite suspension or the aba National Insurance Commission enne wo mo ba be recapitalization ye wo insurance companies bi wo ye man mu ayesusu se wo mu nyina o manan so iti enne ade a NIC wɔn se wɔn ba bɛhwɛ sɛ de wɔn yɛ bank no wɔn de saa ba bɛkɔ insurance companies no mu na ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ road accident deɛ no wɔ hɔ polisifoɔ ɛde ɛbambɔ mu nsɛm 6.1 million emergency fund wohwɛ polisi ni bi a ɔkɔboroyɛ na ɛkɔba sɛ polisifoɔ interdict no yɛdi ho kɔmmɔ wiki yɛbisa sɛ the police relationship the police civilian relationship nipa na ɔyɛ saa no ɛmɛde mi gu so ɛɛpa IGP kyɛw sɛ na da roma wɔn interdict ne deɛ wɔn nyɛ nhwehwɛmu sɛ nusuban a wɔn tu no fo wei deɛ ɛboro deɛ ɛde obi na wɔtwa bi yie na wɔayɛ week na meka sɛ nipa nso a okɔ video saa police officer no ɛde bɛto abɔnten bi mo me deɛ me di kan aka sɛ nipa amene ne nya adwen because ɛnyɛ sɛ police ni yɛ biribi a ɛboro so ɛyɛ boro na waboro okay fine no problem ɔyɛ police officer na police personnel na ɛkyɛ sɛ ɛnte sɛ wohyɛ uniform ɛyɛ saa normal ba me de I'm say well ɛyɛ pɛ baabi koraa ma ne dan na ɛno nso tete no na ɔkɔɔ yɛ a na ka biribi ɛtumi ayɛ kama enti yɛsrɛ wei deɛ ntwabie deɛ ɛgya ntwabie na ɛgya sɛ enti yɛsrɛ IGP mu deɛ moyɛ na muntu no fo mo interdict ne mo nhwɛ sɛ yɛ ne suba wɔ mu dada muntu no fo na ntwabie ne deɛ ayɛ ne 100.9 Jimedi FM na sevidi kan
Nit FM nio
na ɛyɛ me guest number 1 atena se ɛyɛ Kingsley Amaleba watena se who belonging to the NDC National Communication Bureau na Kingsley me wakɔ abɛte sɛ
Madam Messina, I mean, share Busha for a Jibriti and a pay.
So, oh, Yakopado, now so,
Madam, or the men quite.
Yeah, the Yakopan say. Kingsley me no share and common said they're free. And your car when she had Diana now made the mutual. Do you think say you the attention in my car when she away, man?
I doubt. Because Osha knew my deca when she about AP. Last, me tear and Comobia no Mudio baby. Over call lorry station. Now and then Sa Abbey. When he has said Kakujina was say. Yembu to Abumao. I had a sachet in a shim. And I had torn in also by lorry station. This revenue ebe to car no Kojibi, they should go to Kuna or Trinkakana. What next year to show. And Rua, power for Efa, the Trika A1. We need to also look at tiredness. Particularly, one more call long journey. Not drive near bread. Instead, say, those TPRTUs, November, 2 drivers per car. I doubt. So some more years had the idea. Okay.
Long distance. Yeah. I have one YouTube.
Stations.
Yes.
But at this situation, it should be nipa too. Inti bako corner or bra na bako aje. So inti one make us say and sign your num and answer your number the car. If you drive for so more de bre a car. Don't know any part into what is still a chino or bra, definitely. And you might be betting me at Racho. I dear you, so a casa a tassa yes, you come. Casa tassa yes, you come. Ask them to a debia me boss, and we don't refuse that. As you are a dancia suka. Ufri asuka, a call a dancer for mana. Only masuka ya. Ufri Asukwa station wo enya manisi omana kwai no mu a omo wo Gao station bi Gao filling station bi e wo nsa benkum so
okay
o kwai wo nsa benkum so e wo ba de unifa wo ya tra sa Gao fo na police barrier e wo ho kama na me ko school dance for na police barrier no meaning say na omo ye free wo dia police barrier na chi na sa accident only ne ko bai things that can be tipa articulators ni bi unse Casa kofa nyoma free takra the port no. Casa kofa nyoma free takra the port no. Omofa ebesi Cape Coast. No mo abesi Accra Obuase Accra Kumase highway no so. Na just say omoko. Na car na ba bedru for na be pon no so no na asai. A trap filling station na. Esa say e be pon na car na asai. Inti e parkisi wo. But Kadisiwo, according to report, as at that time, no be 2 weeks. Number 4, HM, police barrier or omuhu obi anya ho hwe until say you turn bus na free Kumasi ebesia ko Cape Coast Sakra de e ko wo so ka no nipa 27 ewu amonum ho a enye honko a wonam Kumasi highway no so a uta hu sa de we very often nti koba no se na se car SIC kwan ho a yenyi ye betena ho atwen ama accident asi manipa hwe ne nkwa before e be bibia fa ho so Ghana Road Safety Commission, Ghana Highway Authority, the MTTD, the Ghana Police Service, and all the institutions concerned, what are they doing or what have they done all these years? To me, they haven't done much or even nothing at all. But at the end of the day, no. Nipa and nam accident so actually among kwano. Ye can nipa omo a bin so offer accident to adi demo and ne omaka form. On to me come mabium. On to me yahwe. Nipa no abeka ho hihiem. Abusuan so ni bia ye de bo ano a. Na sa nipa no e free sa bra atoyere nchem na to no kusi da yankopo beto nsa afre no na setenem etisen. Nanka me kwaba ene ho abenedie ni. I think say a hard dream. So we use our man to free also. You can also talk about careless driving. Most of the time, we share driver phone nam kwan so na we share kwanya driver phone bi nim e twika. Ya na e yemhihie wom. Open time akọ hemfa. Overspeeding, reckless overtaking. No omo ye. You see, so you mean an emwa. So I don't think that over the years we have done much. There were a lot of behavioral and attitudinal causes. Yeah, they don't know time so. One major problem as a mind yentimi solve yen so largely your transportation network. The American transportation network, you know, let's look at the African continent as a whole. Nigeria, unim say abibi mind entimi tumponi na every transportation. Abibi mind entimi tumponi na transportation.
How?
Oh yes.
How?
Because there were well-developed railway system. America say, "Obetimi atena train mu every Ghana, ako Kenya. Na be take you be 18 hours. Now the maximum can end 18 hours because bullet trains na ebano, na abano. In fact, the maximum 10 hours obetimi do Kenya, southern part of Africa. Or Okonofa, you can still use even lesser or approximate. The continent is well linked by land transportation. A bit more facilitated trading. So, because for Akwaba, how many people can apply that? That's all for car Kwanzo Akwaba. Or for no free Nigeria for Ghana. Bit me the bear 2 is now Yamedri. And also barriers of work and all of that. Largely, or by and large to a very large extent, I think that transportation, to me, a developed transportation network now, it will not only facilitate our development and also the safety no so by the beba in a larger extent because social chromakra, social kwanya car first year accident, trails any accident sir. I just want trails any accident sir. And the other now person oko north wa, obet na come free Accra, ako do north 17-18 hours. But train betting less than that. So, and also even movement of goods and services and me move the way we want it. At the same time, development cannot be fully facilitated.
Yeah.
And we are talking about safety here. And if safety, instead of saying we need to also look at Ajapadi also as a result of that. So I think that we need to do much about it. And the media need to also help. There's sometimes because the media more. Yeah, the media is doing their part. I acknowledge that, and I commend the media. Say, to that more devoted time, and my education, more for expert, but now studios. A pussy for count, no more be 2 $4 1 be 2 to 4 1 be 2 to 4 4. Need I also a bit me aboa. But the case say now no could not buy so. As we speak, Ghana as on mine, almost 70 years after independence. Yentimi ye one dual carriage route e Ghana. And you're awesome. You're awesome.
Yeah, you be bad in the stretch and it's
and you do a carriage.
And you do a carriage.
And you do a carriage.
And every circle.
double lane. Double lane. Do a carry.
Every
second. Do a carry.
Way.
Osha car say free. Osha car say free Kumasi.
Yeah.
A Accra every day. Car say free Accra Eko Kumasi a day. These are the two major cities, commercial cities for that matter. Goods and services are every Accra Eko Kumasi. And so every Kumasi a bank cry. But you need good transportation system and facility system and your money now. At the same time, ask them to be AC Santasi, I think somewhere 2004-5. I mean, after that time, so when him Santasi ran about who year, that carpenter phobia.
So Kumasi the archer boy, Kumasi boy,
me Kumasi boy. We say you more sentiment, but chinchi wina.
Okay.
That carpenter phobia. Oh, you drew run about, whoever started run about on Sunday Faso.
Okay.
That carpenter phobia on Sunday Faso. Oh, no, Monsan, you might have 5 things and then maybe quite on your mind. Tipper track, no, tipper track, a Timbaka and a Cofandia. Na car and a big run about, no, and then the chain of tea and then you had a free car, so be form. A drift and nipper hoina. At least nipper 4 or 5 and a children among them. So, then Sir Asden, so tell Kumasa and other places. Jerry, you see, how reckless can we be as a mindset? Car Cofandia. You are loaded sad dear way. No, the chain of boom, then I'm chrome. Profit finio. No, the name. That chain, the not really you for me. One, a blood to car so as a maba. And a dual so you for more. A bemunia and one can stop where nothing can stop it. And it will destroy everything on its way. So, how do we risk people's life in this manner? Pasaka, loading you at the fuck. Nipa, any cargo in a use the same road. That's a kind of code when Timem could do. I know I said, no, a package, you have a red triangle and Pombo home. And the bomb so they are called a ton of pair. So we are driving off the air bar. When you man who's no ben, the man you are doma, let's just say, Asamna, Abafi. So, and the identity develop your transport system inside that. And we are. And then Nyoma Kessia, tipper trucks, and I say big trucks, no, Edifa, Yakwanso, no. Kebeti me that alternative route like a rail. So, because to me, I don't still see the wisdom. Say, Burkina for ever found Nyoma or Tamaportua, or Modo Castle Fire Council. Sometimes, the senior Musi load the car, no. Or Mutumi load, look. I think
San now Mulodia a coca ya bridges yasi.
Ufitama run up tema motorway runabout no about to boot now. First foot bridge now or echo ashamano. Over mekan say fly now echo ashamano. Cars no beka hoda. Omulodu nyoma no bedru ho a. Just say be yi ennyoma no etiso na car de tra ho a. Ya san hye nyoma no biom. Or the Chimota overhead here.
Ombekada,
Wombekada. And then, Quanya your boka, Edisika tree, a asphalt. Go and check those roads. A quana mem. It need to be resurfaced again. So, a here resurfacing because a quana ain't smooth. The Uchika was not here. It can lead to a slip, which can eventually cause an accident and lead to a loss of life. So, and the Numa Pinegia Sambamu Asomai, and I believe that it's time as a country, many penny bishai. Or say Ghana, Sabioko here need the Oya no in ye preco. That chama. But ye are your mania yen dibino. Yen soon a new maso yen ye. Tia quaya yen basa. The next Achakra 5 to 10 years. Kwanya ye boka millions of dollars a year, you know. That's how Kwana say. Now say copy sika for floor at the base of Kwani biom. Meanwhile, sika so ye can so a bini ho. That's just a debiano. Ye Bob Bosnia ebe solve the same problem. It is as much ye Bob Bosnia solve the same problem. You make any effort. Say you best solve a new problem so you solve them permanently. How do we progress as a country in as much as we still think ourselves in this kind of avoidable mistakes. So Senior Jerry, it's so pity, so to speak, because the worth of human resources are echo waste through motor accidents. People are killed every now and then. People are maimed every now and then. And even, baby, also the attention, cry aircon, we don't do that. Why? Because that's the way I think. Ya junior be sika to the extent that obia person oye bibia ohwe emfaso be ba ne ho chain ye o mine ebe yambom. If not, look at the after COVID-19 and the quantum of resources which has been devoted towards the so-called containment of the pandemic, including introduction of COVID-19 levy. Ayetu awoka. Bayemia COVID-19 ba no. Ohwe Sabio nipa afomo ahwere omonkwa as compared to accidental. More than 4 times more.
Yeah, more than 4 times.
4 times more. So 4 times more. But a road accident, we can avoid it or we can minimize it. We can minimize it. But it appears to me the commitment and the will to solve those problems, anyhow. Why? So penny be too quiet, motorcade edinanim. And sometimes it is even difficult for them to even feel the kind of road I am so because Nipan TV team, you are on cause nobody who say for more. And at the end of the day, the citizens now to me a mamping in force of a ball mine home by no. We are rather becoming the victims and they continue to prosper. And I think that it's not being fair. And we need as a people come to a recognition that there is a need to solve these matters or these problems and solve them once and for all.
Okay.
Good. Need to pay attention.
Medase. Enti wonso wadwenkyerɛ efa eye ka kwanhyia ho nsɛm a eye one of the major topics and now pay ye hwɛ sɛ ya tension a ɛsɛ ye mane kɔ ho sɛ ye ntena ho asɔman na yesusu sɛ enuama bi ekunyen enti ye de attention na ekɔ hɔ ye nyina ye ne abere anam sɛ yesusu sɛ enuama bi ekunyen na dia ekunye pa ne momu ne de ekwakwa sɛ attention ye bio nanso ade ne still kwa na ekosoro ade ne yese ye bi ene de regulate so ade ne still kwa na ekosoro enti ade ne ebetima ya found say in 2 years over 5,000 enipa ewu ewo ka kwanhie mo eye over 5,000 in 2 years na 2 years ade ba ko anu so yesu say ekunye nti ye nyina ye ni abre na no na ku nipa 1336 e fahin na ese ye de attention na ese ye de ko de ku nipa 5,000 no ana de ku nipa 1336 emu de here iti road carnage road accidents akwanhia akodo ekoso ya kwan so ene ya kwan ye fa so de attention ma Panso ODF 0503721744 0503721744 na yahwe na yakenkan bibia na yede amount me hwe ne mu se nana owusu apia ono nso eba bekan ho member of the MPP National Communication Team hwe ne mu se nana owusu apia nso eba bekan ho Kingsley yenko the benchmark na wotwe mu ade ehyiase afi chase no na watwi mu enra de yenra chi ene ba beto odwa say your man penye or suspended the implementation process of the reversal of a benchmark value discounts nipa bi ebo man penye aba so say waye ne saa na wonso obo man penye aba so ana
Jerry man penye hia ba so bia ko ye MPP aba no hia ba so bia
adin
na me wonwa so no so fucha bosom e kasa no say mampini akufa do ya de bi na ya de pa ene benchmark value for what
ana se ade a bana amanfo na kasam o mampanyi na kasa ne policy 2019 or the value discount see benchmark value discount ne baaye na ekoba said there be say no ono na de discount no buy na oyi discount no e de free o ya kan ko discount enye say new tax o discount na amanfo akasem adwadifo akasem all the major stakeholders Ghana fo enyina yakasem na ye ni brepem na akoba so okay fine giving Ghana Revenue Authority for crash share implementation process na se o man benya meka say mo twentwen so till 17th January eye ejuada na afi o man benya ba beka say eye mo twentwen so kra bribi ene ho no was it on demand abasobody
you know ninja make us understand.
Yes, sir.
First of all, a man for including MPP pundit say Mampini Akufo-Addo is a listening president. And all the benchmark reverse asaba Ghana for kind of what you are saying. And I'll explain what the benchmark values are. And then ninti or modest benchmark values on the buy. Mampini Akufo-Addo, contrary to a man for opinion and assertion about him, he has proven that he is not what people think he is. Number one, you will come here and you will high private jets, Boeing 373, and Ghana for a trip, £15,000 per hour or per hour. A big issue, they can come. What happened? The next available one or current, you know, you trip £14,000 an hour. And then Krampo a door to change your coffee. Did he rescind that decision? Say Ghana for come high private plane. My jet presidential jet or minor tour the su or some penny bia bar on fun to coin. President Mahama the to coin, President Miss the to coin, President Kufuor time put in and buy. President Mahama and President Miss, I'm going to coin a you see one more time so what you are Wababeto. Who they took coin from 2017 to 2018, 2019 about 2020, and I would jai presidential plane is and I was starting renting private jet. I course so man secretary ya kaya o man penisi mabo amfita duku. Oh high. Wa higher man ne oguso oh high. Otie. He never listened to anybody. A busi bet na kunwa so obro ka meni o manya ye kan watie. Wajai. Watwe sign. No bo break kakra. Afen so ebo a wo sha woni so a Ghana for a company wiane na dwono watwe sa ebo sha na sayana. It's not still giving more promises. So why like the claim that Mampini is a listening president? What are the benchmark values in the first place? Benchmark values no more the two galam say we bottom ni achi omo no mo jai.
How?
Yes.
Galam say the same.
Omo the two galam say we bottom. No nim.
And then now can say
Mampini Mahama time. Na ni bibia ye friend benchmark values.
But there were reasons in your benchmark values.
You see, there was and that reasons we will look at it. We will look at those reasons.
In emptiness.
We will look at those reasons and see the rationalization of those reasons. No more the are those reasons still valid today or not? And if they are not valid today, what shows that they were valid at the time of the introduction of the benchmark values? What shows that they were valid at that time? And if they were invalid at that time, as they want us to believe now, then why the introduction of that concept or policy in the first place? What are the benchmark values? The benchmark values in say, so o koto ade free abroche the bar. You share the invoice out the to ade no. And no na customs e dey do timao. Na the freight and then think to tax account import no tua. Then you clear your goods. Under President Mahama time, there was what we call commissioners' values. The commissioners' values, under the thing, the revenues man, in the Customs Act, Emma, the commissioner general, the mandate or the power say, Ebia so be import say my import to Korea X Abagana. Now me say card me $1,000. The law mandate or empowers the commissioner to say, no, obey me. I shake hands no, Haruna, you shake hands and $10,000 now to a canon. Based on research globally, no. On a model develop that document, I call a friend the commissioner's values. And it's a whole percent. What they invoice and what they ban say customs who say I had your person for kwatikwamisu a boo minor. They go to the commissioner's values document. Near item now we import you know. Near general price now more one so they calculate to do to amount no what you are. I don't think so. The commissioner's value as at that time became exception and not a norm. And before buy so no. Nina policy na ewo under NDC time no. A lack uniformity. So a lack uniformity. So I don't know omoyi commission values no everywhere. No more introduce you adi omo to din say benchmark values. And that benchmark values no a be norm because so the idea bar it doesn't matter the price of the item. Near omo can you are going to pay that. And the so omo commissioner omo benchmark value no fan say maybe 1,000 per 50% across board. So 50% across board. Mm-hmm. And the item now they buy no 10%. You have to pay the 50% import duty on that 10% item now they are no. The price of the item. And in to introduce that benchmark values no Emma port no and new boss started kosoro. Where kaya abosho kan for started complaining. So abosho kan for started complaining. When the policy was introduced, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, His Excellency the Vice President, who is the bank roller of this policy, explanation of the man said, you know, government need revenue. The ones that are buying here revenue, no. Revenues are accrued from the port based on the volume of import. And it's the volume of import, no, cost to our port, and they're buying here more revenues. So, and the benchmark values now more than it will facilitate the volumes to increase. The volumes will increase here. Or say, that policy with the buyer, no, it created a situation now. A man nyoma bo static cost at the port. No bo static cost no. A man for sure more important nyoma no. Decided say, more important nyoma na. More the back call a neighboring port. Togo for instance a free port. So one day nyoma no kop Togo no more yi. No more the far borders no more no more the bedu. And until be who item na ewo supermarket and the marketplace or motor. Bako check it and for my port. So government would lose revenue to the port. And a buying a castle. If that's the case there, they are going to give 50% discount on some selected items. Yeah. 50% and 30%. And the rationale Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia de Mayane say, government need to do that because a better facilitating import volumes at the port. Now, buy the coffers I didn't buy. Now, you will hold buying into that volume now buying or the
trade volumes isn't it?
Not even the trade volumes, benchmark volumes are buying introduce
yeah.
Or introduce that not because not all your importers in favor. But just one they are compelled to do that in order for them to be able to stabilize the certain level of economic activity.
But would you also agree? Obedia to me say importers na be under declaration. Would you too?
You see, under declaration, that's another issue that I think we can talk about it.
Because I don't know the trigger.
We can talk about that under declaration, tax evasion, and this annual man. But we are dealing with the policy of this benchmark values in a the buyer. At that time, let's see, and I'm 5 Ghana cedis, 4 to 5 Ghana cedis to dollar. As at that time,
that's 2019.
2018. No more did that policy buy. That was the rate of the dollar. Now, you want to buy a can say, or person you benchmark values in free. That's all you that benchmark values in free. The rippling effect is that a bit pushing importers back to where they were before the introduction of the benchmark values. What it means is that the prices of import are going to increase. The cost of their import prices are going to increase. That's number one. Number two, a bit dwindle or more capital because the 2018-19 no here 450 pesos. No, they are to $1. And they will here approximately 7 cities to buy the same $1. It's number one. The cost of import duties at the port before the introduction of the benchmark values now more can a buy no cover that discount they will go back to that level. And number two, because of them, a buy no share born in there hunu and nyoma yenti Sydney born kwana from that dollar na cost the importers will need more city to buy few dollars to import. They say importer no. What will he do? Obe push the cost ni na no and they come on the final consumer. And at the end of the day, the final consumer no, will bear the brand. We are in economy at the time where Biden introduced over 12 different components of taxes. Fuel and kwa over 47% of the fuel price taxes in kwa, including boiler tax, NHIL levy, ESLA.
Taxes in the
COVID-19 levies. What's that?
Taxes in the also abandoned by the free.
Obi tax no free wo.
Oh,
Indian senior. What ko yi is it 12% on airline debit. Why you know fuel? Now the best fuel more. I'm one of the hour. How many Ghanaians uses airplane every day to their work? Huh? Ghana for those in the full plane and a pakojuma. But na popia for kakojuma. Maybe I can't for buy. Ube so buy what they can, but definitely you pay for fuel. Or you pay for the cost of transportation. And it's all the question fuel more and more than the abwa. There was a 10% percentage on real estate. What is that percentage in every war? How many Ghanaians can be able to, how do you call it, to acquire estate for themselves?
Oh.
So, but why is your money free? Who the best cement boom? Who the best iron rods? Who the best nadu? Who the best painting? Who the best or design pipes like this design? Who the best the cost of building materials? Have you helped us? No.
1% special import levy.
So, and it's a bino, and say no de bano. And she say bonia that a kotobe kuma she because pharmaceuticals as we speak Ghana has produce less than 35%. The remaining 65 to 70% no ye crack at the back chroma. Including condoms in a produce chroma ye crack the bar. Pampers at the bon collar ye crack the bar. So and the benchmark values then can buy an episode if you want and the whole chicken say pan and kebeba. And unti and a good for resi so no. A buy inside the way and you hubium. And I was a Ghana Association of Industry GAI for also and one number 2 and other civil society organizations and stakeholders no be kasaya na buy them share. So push it anymore. It might also meet the same resistance like the yield levy in parliament because a lot of people are going to go down on the street to protest. And nothing na buy them chain no boko say okay me na me kaye or the same my coming ray. One of the reasons some of them might be able to say, oh, they want to introduce the benchmark values, so that you better maximize the cost of import. Now, you better maximize the cost of importing goods. So that you better minimize the local production costs. Now importers actually producers actually produce. Now we produce ammonia money boy for. Now the ammonia ban on the born there. Which means we are promoting the local industry than the export. Master, that's what can I entrust them and what we are. You see, and Necroma company when they produce cars wa. Almost so much of Toyota's VWs and Kwama Bakroma. What do you mean? Yeah, can factory or Europe. Yeah, you pass on the book continent. The bench and one clients or Monashaka. Quanans ya buying.
And no,
Jose,
and
how many of those cars in Wabonting?
Oh, if you
Apostle could just have four. Why don't you help him to produce more? Huh? Why don't you help him to diversify? Why don't you link the technical universities to him? So he can train more people, build a plant, and produce more cars for us. Why don't you do that? In any case, Krumha, the producer of Sichiwaha. And it's only increases the price our port by 30%. What they buy? But my local producer produce sugar will come. Commander sugar factory president Mahama Eja Omunja man employ.
Sugar factory na Akawi.
Omunja man employ. Huh? And it's happening. So we raise the import of sugar price at the port by 30%. What they buy? Even that local industry say all come, local producers all come out. I mean, omo produce, omo import then equipment and machinery and other production materials. Omo here, for instance, ye clinker e okroma. So Ibrahim Mahama, for example, a local producer of cement. So or produce cement okroma, or producer or here clinker on their back. And it's all day 50% at the total clinker price no so. Or confirm the Drew Ghana Hano produce cement now other way for the Christmas. And more with the boy on the way for. So, and I can give and share the list of price items from the buyer now. They are locked in there. You do a crumha. Local pharmaceuticals. They import over 65 to 70%. And they debate supplementing new my produce crumha. A big crump COVID-19 by research buying upon Sika by Nano. What in your dear local manufacturing industry or the local pharmaceutical industry? One more team research using our plant, the local herbs, other available or the same medicinal crops are your no more team research. And you see the tropical medicinal potencies. I arrive at the conclusion of what team produce medicine a bit media combat with against the pandemic. Abandon me. Abandon me. Okay, be so much sika. There's so much sika senior. Yes, when you make I buy we bet na kunya so yi. Obeto yeka 120 billion. And then yeka na akodu 341 billion. Or the said abeka ho. Or the 331 billion, 231 billion abeka yeka ho. Which means abana bobusian kwa 231 billion over the last 5-6 years now. And which about revenues, sir. President Mahama 84 billion Ghana cedis of revenues. 84 billion. Omampene Kufuor Donkwa were 157 billion in revenues. Busia Mayo. Busia na mai. And so the Busia 231 billion. And the revenues are 5 or so 157 billion no ASEM mass nye kabo mintie. Where revenue are young kwao. Now, COVID-19 eba yen. Odi nkantu America call IMF. IMF ema rapid credit facility of $1 billion. Meboa. Yeah, IMF ema yes, $1 billion.
One bit, but and it's how $1 billion. No, and yeah, a buy and a quadrilla credit facility. No. Na sika wo de boa amaya hodo
senior
to fight against COVID-19. Anya Ghana kwane
ye sika ba osem na me boa. Aha. Sika ba osem. See the chair wo kobo obuso say the amount. Sika ba osem. Aha. Sika na ba.
Yeah.
And you are buying konya $1 billion if you IMF for her. And which IMF is some additional 1 billion biom 2 billion. World Bank am I $100 million? Afenso President Mahama ne Mers, omo be fra bam. Omo ye say no. Ye oil na ye ya no. Tie tu oil na ye koton dwaman so a. Sika me ndi ni na. Ye fa 70%. En fa mbeboa. Yeah, or the saying, your local budget. I bet 30%. 30%, I think, yeah, the 17%. And the Kotu Stabilization Fund, the more. The 13% na kano. And the Kotu Heritage Fund, the more. And the Manchirima. That 17% now, you created to honor. At the time of President Mahama and the mess in the Afra Bamunu, now you accrue over $270 million. COVID ebaye almost $300 million. COVID baye. Omampeni Kufuor sumane ma menu aba keno for ata ode Ghana sika semina a share nsama ne ko parliament. Or the Kotu parliament anim say abushafo hwehwe akuta ye. Ahochire bremu a ne santi ye de hu ya. Ye dwen hu kan ya ye de san sika we ede to ho no. Sa ahochire bre no the here that na bedu. Enti mama me kwan na me nkoyi sa sika free stabilization fund ne mu. Parliament approve $250 million at the Maomo. Omuko yi at the bekan $1 billion from IMF, $2 billion from IMF, $100 million from World Bank, including $250 million. Okay, in Abomwa, $2.35 billion. That's gonna be the binding sim. The bad one says can I? Huh? A the bad binding can I? Womunka hospital back home see. Sika your money no. Because of COVID-19. Almost the hospital where they call COVID-19. Ombo bako. Abanin ka Japadia oni ho na e de be kai Ghana. E de say Ghana de be kai say mampene Kufuor de betena kunwa so no. Japadia why they aja oman ni. Nothing. There is nothing like that. Eh bia President Mahama make asemi. Obo busia 54 billion. We have a lot to show for 54 billion Sika AGYEMAN. Talk about Kumasi Market, KJT Market Complex. Talk about Kumasi Airport. Talk about Terminal 3. Kaso Interchange. Talk about the Family Hospital. The War Regional Hospital. Tamale Hospital. I would say Tamale Regional Hospital Expansion Project. I would say Bolagatanga Regional Hospital at Bolagatanga. And then what Jai Suwa for the past 6 years. The whole airport. Look. The Rich Hospital. The Maritime Hospital. The Bank Hospital. Maritime University of Ghana Medical Center. Cape Coast Stadium. The E-Blocks. There are a lot of infrastructure projects Mahama provided for this country. They have been ensured there are a lot. So many things that Mahama did for this country. Out of the meager resources of President Mahama, but to whom much is given, much is expected. Looking at the quantum of revenue, Aban Wewaya. Aban Yesikachi, Aban Bia, Ghana Bakosemu. Saban Wesuna Wesikaso Ghana, Aban Bia, Ghana Bakosemu. So what are they talking about? What are they talking about? In the midst of all these things, you've not been able to account for Japadibi Wayedeja or Mino. Then, no, say senior high school for entering middle school. Why? Sikani ho.
Oh, assignment I go to
primary school for entering school.
What's
why? Sikani ho. I didn't make cases say that.
Ghana education service for the calendar.
Over the calendar.
One day.
I want you the calendar way. Oh, no, Becca. Now, me, I know what I say. I say, education minister, I can say, I hear that, I can post on the Facebook wall.
And that's a calendar, my dear, about more BS could be.
And in Gracia Quaba, Abana, you be BS troka. And a Ghana
next week, one will be
and a Ghana sin chassis. Because I know a bomb. I do money to my bomb, I know. My bomb, I know. And until a burning nib papa bia or becca because of the bussiabo basabasa until Williams and Ra. Is it fish? It is fish or if I'm fish.
Yeah, fish. I saw
one
year Soviet rating. Yeah.
Who's what I'll get Ghana? About need be negative. First time in history. Huh? And then Ghana Bob Bussia by a mem. You call your man to cry, I'm saying, Master Ghana bonds body yempe. The investor community are running away from Ghanaian bonds. Why? Because we can't pay our loans back. We can't pay. President Mahama etia kunyaso. Nas, yeah, that to GDP was 54%. MPP force woman tibida. And then according to Fish report, no Modia Bano, Ghana debt to GDP and 83%. Drew and no. But it's very instructive. And so long as a Nyoma Eko Senu, it exposes who President Akufo-Addo is. I believe that Onyanko Pon Shere your Mampini Akufo-Addo betna kunyaso. So they be good anymore as no watch how empty he is and expose him to the world. So he will go down in history as the worst leader Africa have ever gotten. Not even Ghana, the whole of Africa. And I dare say it's the whole world. Because he doesn't have any record. Record that anybody can be proud of. On one case, Chimame Rebecca and you're proud of Nikuru performance. With my friend Mamina Butan or catch up. So Nikuru are born or failing. Yes, Mamina Kasanim. And you 2016, 15 Eba. And seven Omokaye. So, Mahama is incompetent. Mahama incompetent. MPP communicator. Ebetna studio. Before baby, no. Mamincha the incompetent President Mahama. Mamincha the incompetent President Mahama. Omokaya. Nobody will mention President Mahama name without adding incompetence. Even and then upon him, Gracia come in there, you know. Betna studio so. Betna design studio. They still mention say President Mahama is incompetent. Fine, agreed. Say President Mahama is incompetent. No competence in a way. Where is your competence? Where are you exactly 11:01 a.m. June 23rd, 2016. Alhaji Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the MPP candidate at the time.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
What is it?
If you use your resources well, and do not steal them through corrupt activities, you can produce more and create more jobs.
I didn't answer it.
You get it? Also, when you Bosnia, when you tour, you for 2 months. Now when you daddy the got 2 for 2. One bonnet for 2 or 2. I found Cody 2 now the edge my pa. You bet my creating you my gun, my boy, and then you run away. And you run away. We are asking them. Maybe I am share video be on Facebook. Ghana Fire Service Intelligence Department and then Ghana Police Service. Or more collaborative arresting crophobia or more shakukum so more recruitment. They are taking bannings from the unsuspected public. Why? Because Omana Huchilum. But these are not the things MPP told us. So what us now within a new man during 2012, between 2012 about 2015-16 elections, and some of them they were telling Ghanaians who they are in the opposite way. Because na Ghana for fees are them no, they were saying something about one in the opposite way. And you be a president Kufuor the candidate Kufuor at the time. Also Ghana tisika so come there na meboa. Ono oba fo no wo so na sika na tiagu fom magana force sa. E de sika na fa hifa. Ana Mahama okono o de sika no koi. President Mahama wa wi o mine mo fleet of ships or Japan. And the fleet of ships na fa hifa. I heard President Mahama not too long ago. He came out and challenged them during some of the thank you tour. I said, look, Mose Meme war dying hotels in Dubai. I heard Captain Smart, more money Captain Smart. So no one can say go Dubai or your investigations about the alleged Mahama hotels. No, we sign you about no kind. He kept quiet because it served a certain purpose and it supported a certain narrative at the time, which he was in favor of. And to who no credit Puanka. But President Mahama have turned a challenge to them. Hotels no Dubai no. Munko ton hotels no fasi kanamra emebo Ghana mumashua. This fleet of ship or Japan no munko auction ni na fasi kanamra emebo Ghana mumashua. So for munka no credit. And not number and there's no confidence in our democracy anymore because of MPP. Because and Trump will try and Sabosiam, because Dr.
About Ben will beat me, like I say, almost say a reckless borrowing.
Senior, forget about their jargons. Forget about their jargons. Forget about their jargons.
Borrowing.
Forget about their jargons. Even if we are to listen to that and take it on the face value, and we can even examine what is meant by reckless borrowing and responsible borrowing. We can look at that. But forget about the jargons. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and the then Vice Presidential candidate of the MPP before 2016 elections. That's what can also say. He has been the governor of the Bank of Ghana before. Deputy governor, sorry.
Yeah, deputy, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. We don't need to borrow to build roads. What do we do? What the proposal?
You used to toll.
Yeah, you used to toll boot. And the toll boot now don't know what cancer free.
Who said the realities are different.
Reality is different. Huh? Reality is different. In the same Elijah Mahamadou Bawumia and Kache say, with only $37 billion, it may fix all the roads in Ghana. What are boss? More than $77 billion. How many roads am I? I want to see concrete road. How many kilometers of concrete road am I see so far? Can they tell us? Can they tell us? I want to see on the side sky train.
And yeah, one will say, Peter, I was saying, why are you laughing? Your basis car training, I feasibility studies and we say it's impossible. And just okay. And then a man can correct.
Urabi say I'm concerned who control South Africa.
But Roman will say it's impossible.
Who say who concerned control South Africa? Look, we should treat our fellow citizens as human beings who have some level of intelligence to discern, but not just a caricature of a merely existing biological material devoid of human sensibility. So painful. And that is exactly what the MPP is doing and have been doing. If not, you told the people, Mahamana Bemun Penny for Omo Yakron for Omo Yamo. I don't think I got a Huchi Waha. Me ba me yimo from Huchinimu. If not, I don't think a think ha, I think Ghana ha. Asasia a yas as a barrier near Todo Kono 1 city. President Kufado had a problem with that. Senior, and then you crab bunch of free China.
Ya crab.
Yes.
That's how I'm getting okay.
You crab bunch of free China na unim.
Ya crab bunch of free China.
A buying crab bunch of free China. Baby again you drew no. Money me here. Huh? Wo de munyi ka kwanto be fufuro. Na munyi asphalt ningu, na munyi abode. The next 6 years, and the next 6 months. By June. Masa, we be supply the whole Accra and my board in Ibiaka. Do you bunch every bus stop here? Koka ni ho. Muni man koka the next bus stop ho. The next 3 months, we be supply Gary Magana obi abedibi. But abundance what the planning for food and jobs aba. There corruption venture in your ball minor chrono guinea worm. Abundance spend over 3 million, 15 million Ghana cedis on chemicals. I see the call a guinea worm. Army worm. Government have not been able to account for fertilizers or money import to a bar. Agri Minister Kojina. Baby, I was saying, ohun okono of whom self fertilizers no in Funum Ponko elsewhere cross the border ko Burkina Faso. One team Monica Santi went to me muso be modern fertilizer no ko. This and somewhere omoka. Go out there and ask for price of food. And then can have dokun 3 cities. Make can some be say oh dokun ko 50 pesos. I'm say yes. Open dokun 50 pesos. Open 20 pesos dokun krampo a. Oben be atobe 20 pesos no. Ubejina for akwa 100 cities so still home man. A bottle under NDC 2016 you be free by December 31st 2016. January 7 you hand it over 2017. Now a bro back now you 120 Ghana cities in Accra. And then a bro back upon all your so-called flagship policies in Nano. A bro bottle back equal 600 Ghana cities in Accra. Buffer stock. When you went to school. Buffer stock are running out of food supplies, and because of corruption, it has said the proyeno chrono adokra binding. Almost centralizing the beer free SHS secretariat. Almost running from the Flagstaff House. Go and check Auditor General report. Almost check for free SHS secretariat no. Manja padia resources kakra. And you go from no more the appointees ne party apparatchiks. That is the logic. That is the philosophy of the MPP. That's the thing they believe in. Oh, yeah, the free SHS aba. Near centralizing no. Near to them the branches now across the country. Near the Omo party in penny 4 to 2 no. So when you're within that clique now, forget it. Even within their own party, people are weeping, people are crying. Womo nanti the trenches. Those whose faces were bent, whose feet were scorched by the sun, who toiled and sweated to bring the party to power. What has happened to them? They have become so disappointed. The despondency in the rank and file of MPP Nimpono, it is so worse than how the nation is feeling. Why? Because aftermath of the victory, no one confirmed by the breach. No, they also formed. Ononkwa waje juicy 2 appointment amanema. Uye be catch Ghana mabunu say. AGYEMAN who the public sector is full. And Honorable Kenofori Ataso Bekan the Crown say we should consider going to entrepreneurship because the public sector pay runa full and government cannot afford to employ more. But these are the people who are claiming that 4 more to do more. We are coming to give you more jobs. We are coming to give you free money to rent. You've been renting, you've been there. The difference between MPP and NDC is NDC is a party that always appeals to the people. Say for let's suffer within a small period and benefit later. MPP say no. That's MPP. And the MPP always believe in let me give you now so you suffer for the rest of time. Before 2016, election President Mahama can say, Ghana Mbabunwe, he can say Juma, Mupa Juma. It's a legitimate demand. But you know something? Government cannot do a magic wand to create a job. Because there's no magic in creating the jobs. Hey, senior, so my cousin should come them here. You can just go to the street and buy me water. You get it. My cousin come them here. At least, if you are not torn for down, or you can simply get me some. It doesn't take anything difficult. But some say, Ebia, Mama Tadian Sha, not Tadian me pen was all Pamwa, Karuna, Atadian me throw. This Oma Taylor a Pama within the next 24 hours. I have to wait small. And I'm a boy. President Mahama Nasam say, you for more pet, Mamuya Botre. Look, my sister hospitals baby. The hospitals no more than Mukakuya Maum. And what my sister schools. Schools are missing in Ano, more than Maum. I am giving you an opportunity that will give you a sustainable job and guarantee your income. Correct MPP for you for more Juma, even in the high court complex I see here. Correct? They have packed with their own boys. Go to Terminal 3. Correct you for more Juma. MPP boys. Go to all Mahama facilities or buildings across the country. Omodo Munkwala Makota na ho. Kasaja Padena President Mahama Wanya come on. I have to come back to Juma. Where would they have go and work? This was the reason President Mahama was telling us. Creating the neighborhood environment. You wait. From 2017 to 2020, I am going to give you jobs. MPP said, lie. Mahama cannot give you jobs. We will do this. We will do that. Classical example. I am training allowance and nursing training allowance.
Okay.
President Mahama can say, look, this nursing training allowances, you know, so Obi call Legon as a teacher. Obi call UCC as a teacher. Obi Winneba as a teacher. Obi KNUST as a teacher. You all graduate as teachers. Bakuji loan, Bakuji allowance. There's no equity. Allowances, you know, are creating a limited space for enrollment of teachers and nurses in our various training centers. I don't think me ye and free ho. Nasa quota system no, my abolition no. One, the schools can now take more teachers and take more nurses and train them. Why? Because me see more schools, me see more hospitals. I don't think ye train them on a bar. Once a OJ loan at the court school no, oba ya pay juma ho, ye pursue. Okoye juma, you can pay your loan gradually. Then what better ho, what ye juma out to so retire. And before said lie. I saw President Mahama Kanye when we come, we will restore.
Now, restore. Now,
there was one question we asked them.
Let me ask you this. Would you say JDM? That decision no take here no. Would you say na a decision na say no or sign by your president be mo be take here na?
You see, to answer you, let me refer to argument MPP for Nankasa advance now. What do you say? They are in they have even abolished the how do you call the training allowances?
Oh how?
Come on here free.
How?
What's the deputy minister of education? Mama, your friend say. Who's on one
gift?
Who's on one number? Minimum.
Oh wash. Gift to man pofo. Gift to chum.
Me want the video me phone so ha.
I was saying.
O say argument mo amu ni apola do mo kire. Ko interview President Mahama o kan ye no. Waka the same thing wa.
Said it.
And one maka no. Obi ko UCC, Legon, Winneba, KNUST. and others. One now graduate to graduate with first degree in teaching. Bakuji loan, Bakuji allowances.
Yeah.
Is there equity? No. But one question we asked them at the time, they avoided to answer that question. They say, some more introduced teacher training allowances in the Are you going to maintain the quota system or to reintroduce the quota system, or you allow the status quo to prevail? Because someone allow the status quo to prevail. School are never 400 no, and then about more than 300-400 students because of the abolishment or the substitution of the training allowance to student loan. So come allowance, that's all budgeted for 100 students before, and then you have to budget for 400 to 500 students for the allowance. Will you maintain that? They avoided it. Go and check the schools. On by quota system, on my side, and to Mabunu Pia real school, Trifia, or more pay teacher Jumaya or Muya. Open nurse Jumaya or Muya because they cannot go to teacher training nurse and training school in order to become a nurse or a teacher. You see, Kokwanansi government. So for common kind of crab,
so mummy na no uswapia panel member na koba beka ho when ya serious emergency nti why locked wo baby na matwe na ba ho ma no so na be ma onum so kakra na yenje ne comment then de me no bo 101 Yakwa man so na no uswapia or your security analyst global intelligence security analysis center or no any control for penny no a member of the MPP one more national communication team na no uswapia e wa homa so ene na so be studio but bibia sanka no awanya emergency bia or nam kwan so ba no when emergency wo kwan mu enti wenti me ambambam be drew but wa homa so na no uswapia match
Mark, me just so me that na me chat for you na pay na achieve for pancha me say mentima me do yo na enye boapaye send ya o kan ho ade no ebro me so kakra but nyame adom so anwodin wo wonti me gidi say you betimi correct the wrong impression me no e create e was studio ho no
yo say what discussions no yeah, it's the other so you need to through the benchmark values and other issues. Yeah.
Me that's it. Me just say na me ni anam say what's your friend Haruna?
Yeah, or the Kingsley. Yeah, Haruna kraka ho. Kingsley Haruna Amaleba.
Very good. Na struggle say or better benchmark no. Ne effect and I said, Susan, so enya wo edwadifo so aban no de ba ye the importance of it na ade nyina. Why are there na mom no where credit is due, it has to be given. I think this for SCSS when the government is able to think outside the box. Na say what the nhihye bi ba beboa o man ne mani mo adwadifo a wo mo ndi bon crofo ne Ghana fo ahodo nyina ka ho bi no a SSS omubo aban no abaso papa. The same thing say during their time no ahokyere ene enema bebra o man Ghana adwadifo ko mu 4 years in energy crisis. Nyina mu no o man timi amfa policy papa bi say ama ka say ya dwene adwadifo ho enti no mu import ne o man no a aban say 50% obefa wo de car ba aban say 30% enti stand say we say aban timi de baye na say Ghana for adwadifo ani die ho na say so mpaso no ye nsa kan ya empokura say baye ye hu say adwadifo binom mpo ekoso a futu omo ne omamu a the fact say aban no man de mamu ayemre no omo de agya mpaso nti so na no koso aye de so omo ye enu nti senka this for anya mysterious a yes omo hu ni say omo beba aban na baso say na na de dan kwafufu ado odwene Ghana for adwadifo ho e wakoma pam anya ho brasiem say obema ye ho ahare yen enu ba ye empo ebra na covid enya ma ye nti the benchmark value itself and then me no ka say o man pani say adwadifo concerns o ma raise no watie enti was suspending no thank or revise no definitely what it means is that what yenjemu answer so a listening president and as a government ya o man man nyina no enya relief enti mamina ntianse say NPP are buying at any point in time yebepa party ni beba ban mu e Ghana for hun the policies are for social interventions ebre na edeba during the COVID period mati se wo they say yakoji sika wo IMF ho sika dawson enu nti no much is expected of us no kre too much is given much is expected nyina enim say under the NDC when they were doing so for 4 to 5 years John Mahama and farm mitigation measures bia say companies who do near Juma, who do ankura who do Majuma go due to energy crisis, what the intervention be about say, because our petrol, the good generator, it will fear. Or Mount Shishaya said, that and Shishaya or their boy way, petrol, no, be our 1 liter honka, and I said, 2 liters honka. And now I say, important classic for the class here, you are John Mahama say, or to set torchlight anybody in podium, and I say lantern, and I solar. Yan Hunu Bisa, Ewo Ghana. And he said, Ababia Banas a crisis, to say, a global pandemic, as you say, Abba, now by say, Emma Moon so free, Emma Moon Kania, as I said, Biania Mamu, I say, PP, no so, as also at the Jenny free, Diama. Abana said, it's as a banner journey or mine in Mounty, a bino ayoy. Daniman, you know, me and Ludia dancer say, under the free secondary education policy, are not yet no double track, A binding who can say that double track needs to be eliminated and expanding infrastructure. I can tell you on authority say over 2,000 and something infrastructure projects across all the secondary schools in Ghana. Ranging from near a dormitory, dining hall, science lab, teachers' accommodation, any classroom block. Secondary schools our Ghana have their expansion projects ever. And the NDC for say as so district hospitals are who I know so no you better be no nanado and Shannon Shahan. But so I implemented all the policies and native hospitals who don't be completely. At the same time, I say road infrastructure or expanding. It is a minion so kind of cry. The Chromo free no obey many dance and cry ha obey hunubi. Obey one dance here. Say a bino a lot of road infrastructure expansion. You know, yeah. Di one dance said, Nanado dance of Fufado, or can send be 9% put to him, say, or see a crack cassava at the back Ghana from China. Or bet Mambo company about when him say, Omukra cassava at the back Ghana. Buy say, and that yet, Banchi. Then to me, never knew a Ghana, the crab banchi, Eddie free, China at the back Ghana. But me for company back who say company way and are buying as man say on cover banchi in free China Emra and cannot bomb in some area man. And the propaganda no me sometimes don't be too sensational. You should come with facts. No one can say and people should credit Ghanaians with some form of intelligence. Did you say on one case also to credit Ghanaians with some level of understanding of the policy and the economic system. On himself, one of the dynamics in economy, we can say a global economic system can force industrialization policy. It centers large on digitalization and digitization. When himself, or signify no bet my unisika on the bank accounts, Abra enters a bank. That's saying, I buy the two as I say, we appreciate it. We have come far as a government within the 5 years under the NPP government. And what you want to know, I'm to say, the CIA was sorry, cover and can hear 24/7. That's what Tunatalia, so but not studio. That's what ball life with the first channel one. And so, when they say, I buy edwene Ghana for hunti omo penso na omo se omo mfa sika nkonko energy sector na enu tie face crisis no and na aban ba ye was say the infrastructure in energy no e sika sem to be manage ni ye nti sika no omo si ye nsa ka bi no it's better see ye sika no e manage energy crisis no say adwuma ye ko adwuma be gina so companies industrialization e be cause we gina enu nti e be say enyina munkanea no enye de be enko say ye nti ye manage ni ye under Nanado His Excellency and the Baumia administration. Now what can say say you see road fund ya to ya de road infrastructure ya buy ya be to e fi hono abai no anka say on his own motu na why e fi hono why ya researcher uncle with the GPRTU consultation they had with Ghana government and the suggestion they gave to the government said they would rather prefer say abai no be road to na fi ho na obey increase in the terms of fuel so that kama yafe with road to no a emwa na emanyeman ko na ewe se ko no ombetimi enya free other source enti it wasn't government alone decision, it was rather with the transport association Ghana GPRTU for a danon omo enso input e kan obi esese me nua ne ti ase say oman na ye bu no ye dwene Ghana for ho no o kan say ye yi free you can say teacher training and nursing training allowance free ho me pese we bisa ne say a free period the bank and a bind the signal and I say letter abeto abonten say teacher training and nursing training allowance ye twemu the one team for that document no entre tie for ne put what to Ghana for ni no dia ene na me say that propaganda no on twa so say aban emfa tu just say nurses and teacher training allowance no we twemu on sanson tia say the policy about the COVID in your education who's so or say yentimi mbie school esan say aduane ni ho and GDA say ono kro na so say can say DS a publishing calendar e wo mo website say omo be bie school ai won hihye nyina na ye dia tuba enti say or kasa with inconsistency on tia say
or say education minister or the ato ne social media handles.
The education minister they are to the social media handle. And she say yeah, especially or publishing my Ghana phone you know me proud me who know Ghana.
But Ghana Education Service said that
yeah, very good. So it means to say on my no she say yeah adwuma no as and when no necessary no yeah the baba to Ghana public now yami who ya aduma ASEM who AB and propaganda no ohunu say ahwiase and in dear Abba, and Tisa Wokasa, come with the fact. Who can say, buffer stock, a Bianini won't see in school. Want to so far, Yama to get a buffer stock for releasing statement, say they are short of food stock and unti Yentimi MBA school. A Yenokra, a Yandis, Omo opposition, Omajumani say, on by propaganda. And so, Yamoma say, all the propaganda Omo Yenano. We have the facts that the beto abontin ama Ghana for a hunu. Intimino can say, Uko helper, or my non shaya idea health insurance, a general ye papa, or more personal, like a car, a dawa yenti, health insurance is almost collapsing. At the same time, now I can say the policy credibility and they yentimi and quabontin and conquer pebbles. The GDA say, or moon say, at all material time or no. As I say, Ghana, your bubble standard, your poor man, and so when we have a policy internally, no, about Wami generative fund, the same people no come to kick against it. I just say, Kosi and Kosi Koda and Koda. A church ended for only alternative measure beer, or Babu or mine. And see, now, first of all, I say, you are Mahmoud Baumia, policy leadership, and economic management board or down on. And she said, yeah, or dear Jumanina. And yet, to the greatest benefit of all Ghanaians. We say, Pontias, yes, and from where a year Juma, na ya employ or move your school, ya create a Juma Amanaku, for no more yenti, a son says, employment, or more pension. They will say, Yura Mahama, Eddie, Ghana for IMF free employment. And the Mabunu no, yet the Rashid Papo catching the Mabunu said, Omunko Papa Abuomu, and Omunko to chat a young Mukanho, any extreme Mukanho, the amount for Barberto. That should tell you, say, NDC at the time had no vision and plan for the young and the youth of the population. I want my immune. And they said, Nana, do not buy no essay. The critic, we are a best sustaining a babunu, so better not see a quack. No one knew you, Yancy, Yaman and Namco, so Koya, was the swan, Yabaman Kakra. At the same time, it is serving as a scale for you. I will jump into the next level. And to true Napco, a lot of young Ghanaians have gotten permanent employment. That should tell you, sir, Abino, Ewan is what you and then she said, Papa, at the man or mine and money now. And then what can say, no, Cassan, who call school, I saw what you loan, then Momunia allowance. Abana and she said, yes, sir, student loan, no send your first info, now you're restricted, now this a guarantee, in the Manema Babano. That by say, and then with your Ghana card identity. Processing now, no Uber from that when you're loan at the show, now what you mean, I will school. And she, your Pasia catcher almost said, now by you're doing Ghana for him. And no thing you make sure, say, and in a Moncania who are being Jinaswa 24/7. There is nowhere with my catcher say, and so some so, yes, no, I Greek, no, I can't say a crack bunch. My term is unproven with record. I just a company bank. And I think Ghana was saying, when you import banky every China, Edinburgh, buy and our Dibra will be there. On Fanya Bibu or Ghana Hanum. Ediane, then you know him say, Brown and Brown on. It cannot be all throughout season, I say, Ediane Ebebusu Bebrebe. Now, so you say, you say you were planting for food and jobs, railing for food and export. Ninano, yeah, Juma. I said, a Mabunua, a woman. If he care to know, Uncle Bisa said, over 150,000 jobs are through one district, one factory. That creates employment in a man of one. That's one, either say livelihood, no, a bomb, no family, and answer a boy. And this are buying as we speak over 200 companies. And Yatimia initiative under one district, one factory. A move over 100 and something a year, Juma. That creates over 150,000 jobs through one district, one factory. This is what we call government with a policy that comes to help the ordinary Ghanaian. And to send this for no any and she said, Papa, be a name propaganda, any footro, and number 2 Ghana for near. Yes, so Munya would say, someone has said, Dang, not by idea. Yes, in Ghana for Muntino. Yet then she said, Papa, yeah, Jumama, Sabio, a Mabuno, or Montina, me no can say, a positive one fat. Almost 4,000, 5,000. I'm never good training. The same time, military recruitment, fire service, Ghana immigration service, prison service. That's saying no come under the fact that a binary one on or training ordinary Ghanaian on free employment. When you teach an in 24 months, Emma didn't 3 months salary. Then a who know, and this depends on. And don't see the name and she say, under the COVID period, we are seeing now, Ghana economy projected by IMF said will grow not less than 6.5 per the 2022 projection. And see, the year said, Papa Moa, Dibegua Quintino, Kenino, Yebenya Sabi, Abotoyemune, Asumbiana to me, and the Padia Bow mining. And to make Lemina. A while, sir. Onya butre.
Kingsley, Malo.
You must let me near Kingsley, sir. Onya butre na on official Zoom. Now, one just here, the possible policy no, a deep or minor, and nay, Ghana, Yenina, as a listening government, they say a jadi phone in a bomb on some benchmark, and now the Danko Kufuado, at me at Keneso, either bay. Everyone more. And to say, yes,
only free was suspending the implementation process.
I was suspended
indefinitely.
There can't be indefinitely. It means to say, and then and walk of Faba. And you know what it means is that as a president, I was doing Ghana for one. Meaning, yes, I wouldn't say, well, you are not tagged for any good for it raised a lot of concerns. Now, so a binary AGI wants to raise more concerns. Then you know, a binary say, yeah, they call consideration. And see, you are buying on your tinty, Demon or Jenny or minor, Emma, you know, and then she say, pa, a book cream, and your black Ghana for. And to me, I know with strength. Now, the next 3 years, you know, it is years, 5 years, HM policy, they go a crime, you know, when you're home for so baby, now so they are refusing to appreciate and understand, you know. 3 years way and so on. Now, young for 2024, no. Someone who say, indeed, you were a buyer, or one she say, papa, Eddie Bois, or my Ghana, and or my new F4 in now. And you know, my Jerry, ya me person in your and say, ma or moon to Ghana for any. Start buying buyer, you who you cry, no, you who say, you implement a policy, or hear me, and if you can, a bit man call the same school, and then said you will be free. A granted to near Naba Timota, net Naba Protect, net Nako, Wesley, yes, any other. That school's Nananka, a reservoir, as you can form under the policy of free education, Tino, and they obia enya so emphasis. At the same time, on also so on. The Samsung creative platform, so we are any biba, no admission, so backward training, nursing training, teacher training, a buying also a wow. Until say a buying say, I'm part, the distance here we have to one mono. There is nothing to show, say, a buying say, we chat free nursing training allowance, any teacher training allowance for chum, and says that a buying chum. Yeah, can say, my catcher say, maybe you're one kind of crash, took a ban on one question, said, infrastructure expansion. Abano ayeno. Omonso omanya so mpaso bi. Road infrastructure. Me no ka say da bia Accra ha no mo Kumasi baby bia even voter region. Obedi adanse say do the pepper so he fa na da bia no omoka ho asem no. Enne na nado abanda roma ekwan wo no eguso. Enti oma oman no nyina ntia say there were a lot of infrastructure projects omo ba no mo abandon ye. Nanso so efrom ampani ko for time no den ye ba ye nyina no ya toto so ama omo akura e-block education no ukokwa benya ya ye bi wo hono ma ya di ama na enkroa ekomu school across the country bebre then the akokoko ama manfo anyam mfaso nti majeri minua no ye man chance say Ghana any we are say baby ye duru no under the fourth industrialization policy ya kwa with digital economy, no. On my no, we are on the food, we are on the sound tracker. Yeah, I said, so if we are seeing no, and then send me a bit of fee, now I thought electricity power, I thought energy, not the 20 meters. So now when you're not the one sorry, could DQ Musa or talk, and you know, my not in the prepaid, what all fear. Fee, no, I used to carry on accounts to our bank, not the any transaction, and that's what that's alcohol. And see, this is how we are driving the economy of the country.
All right.
And I believe say they know say yeah at the papa no ntina omo ko etia o man no hihye bebreba o man pani adigu akwan mu no.
Okay. Na
Mr. Say Ghana for nya abutre. Na setie bia no o man pani na dan kwa Kufuado ene yewura Mahmoud Bawumia. Ya dwene Ghana for ho. Ya no hihye ya ebeboa Ghana for na bema enyafo ade wo no ho na ye nyina etinya ye pɛ as citizen no eno ne yede adwuma.
Yo. Nana so apia ansa obeko no. Wo outfit global intelligence security analysis center. Mode statement betu dwane titiru fa police ni and the video call viral. Na IGP interdict no na wo mo ye nhwehwemu afa seseme ho. Na na mo pese mo kire.
That's minia. They na ye pese kira me say ye pa IGP tell say the young police officer no match as say nyina ye gitum say wo she police atade na senya ye hunu no ensa se ye hunu sa no na police for be take any disciplinary action against him no omo ye right na mom no ye stress based on the video no keke na ye man interdiction no na ye hunu say anu ye den kakra enti senka IGP betie ye ne a the stress ka interdiction no the only stima bantie no na senya the police release a buy no Oma recognize say abanti ni hia psychological support no anka ombehwe say you bet you know na yahwe ne nsemu na say bi o how be pressure bi na da ne so anabusia mu na adwuma mu ana say ono ankasa na adwene mu a na nka yahwe eno ansa say mpanifo so bi gina mina no a yenka no ntu so long as police for recognize say he may need psychological help no it means say omunim say bia na owo how bi kakra na obi wo how now say command interdiction say na minimum no interdiction will affect his economic status much as yen say enye say bia entuanika yebetuanika kakra na so e bia na say bio eno so kra na de adwendwene beta akoto no so eno na ne stress say IGP we de yebesra no senka onhwe na ne nsamu engo kakra ema abantie no na e bia the district commander na say the divisional commander no internally say asotwen kakra bi ho no de bema no a na ankodi ama no na eno nsumu no ye bo no mabaso na say for the first time ye hu say police emergency fund o man establish for omo a ekwa adwuma na omunyo how health emergency fund no na obinya problem a na sika ko on de hwe no na eyeden aban with together with the police administration no I establish it with adano ni ACP kosi for rikasa no can't you say sika no eda ho I ready me did say it was a refreshing comment coming from him and the announce about one ma baso say o matimi atusa na mo no me did say police adwuma no say ya bema personnel no omo ho hare wo mo na omo benya adwene mu papa ene ahoɔdene de ayɛ adwuma de abo ɔman Ghana nti na ye bo no mabaso na ya san so asre IGP se we die ye sre no ara nka wo hunu abante no mɔbɔ na wɔhwɛ sɛ wɔhwɛ na adwene mu ahwɛ sɛ what psychological effect na say issue ya na problem ne challenge bi no nka interdiction no ɔmanimra from kakra anka yɛhwɛ nneɛma bɛkɔ
okay
yes also encourage the public police relationship no say always we should try say yɛbɛma na yɛ civilize ne momu no ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛhu police ni atwe phone ni a record ni ma commentary wɔ akyire abra yɛbɛ raise some kind of unfounded and unexisting and unsubstantiated allegation about the police administration no ɛba san so a the image of the institution ankasa nso no sometimes locally and internationally no it creates some kind of dispute ema omunti these are the issues that na the person yema public no ehunu na yesre IGP so say obema niema nso amu ago kakra e de ama abante
okay yeda se enanopei na no usu apia
na mesanso kase me sre atifo say mantimi amedru honom na enye boapaye atifo mfanchem
yeda se usually me panel member or representing MPP ewo mi dwumadi so on Saturdays nana ousu apia ono na esanka oba ne so oba ekwan mu waba benya o hawo nti gwantimi ambamba bedru ha na ono na yete ne nka no ene reactions mema 2 minutes na ebia obibia na fe yemra NIC issue no so na
Sina Jerry.
Yes sir.
Mini akusi on wankasa mpo akeye.
Na no usu apia.
Na no usu on wankasa mpo akeye. Okay. Where Ghana Web publication. I think 18 December 2021. Ghana importing cassava from China reveals how hopeless the country has become.
Why na cassava?
It's a Ghana Web.
I think was speaking. Nandi Pano was making a reference to 2019 importer. Imported a year cassava.
Exactly so.
32.4 thousand.
Yes.
But now you exported cassava to the tune of
32.4
million
dollars.
Dollars.
Yes.
And on yet the exports that we made.
But you see, and then it has been established already, so I don't need to.
So but I don't think that we are importing cassava. Say yet again.
But the truth is that Ghana has imported cassava from China. That's the truth.
That was in 2019.
Was say NDC for buy Akwanya Maha former President Kofi Abani Chasi Bijai. And he couldn't mention one. Ofanko Achimota Kwanya, Yaba no Munye. Aburi Madina Kwanya, Yaba no Munye. Former Chasi Guo and other roads. In fact, those roads were government of Ghana projects. And you know, GOG project here now. NDC government under President Mills quickly raised money in the first budget. In a year, Therefore, there was no single road project in this AGYEMAN under President Kufuor government. Was saying, there were cries of doom so. Fine. And this time, when Timan Chemu say a trio doom so levy, did we pay doom so levy? Was doom so a pandemic? It wasn't. One can resources are NDC and because you doom so. This is the quantum of resources are. And my at the boa NDC because of say we had power crisis. It was a generational problem. And President Mahama promised to solve it because over the years, government had that same problem, but not much was done to deal with the problem. And the problem was indeed solved. Ye befrabem, ye jamu 1,937 megawatts. Most and Cramboy excess. The mama a lot of generation to do. Ntimuba and Kunkwa Munim Yamode ye. Okay about NAPCO. When you send NAPCO for you for the past 4 months. Na NAPCO for you can teacher training allowance. No creating Numa. Young fat t-shirt in creating Numa. Populism. We buy them palm t-shirt from a test conform. We buy them with the show. We come match here 3 hours. Or Blaster Square. You man penny. Beja ho cast lands. Chiro almost more creating Numa. 1 deben 1,000. Any money. Mama NAPCO for you. Nam no more buru munyasa. More for munti omoka. Yeni ha. And I'm more termination letters. They almost say, "Omo time on to Munkofi." But you see, and trouble would ya now what Jinan China will break. Or can freebies? Freebies men are by my free. COVID-19 must be unusual. Yan light free. I dance a groom is a light in your ensure any ho. And your community boreholes the more two or more show them. Or more use Ghana water ensure, or more use light. But a binary and what you hold Diabroni. What's my honorable Kojo Ponkuma Kotna? Joy News. Before then, no honorable chairman Sabonsu. A Kojina Parliament on behalf of Finance Minister no was sick leave or US. No the 2021 budget ebaye. Abane Koya was the entry taxes. Because freebies and buying the mine and free. There was a hole, a created 19 billion Ghana cedis hole in the fiscal space. Government need to fill it. And then free or tongue. Ghanaians are paying taxes. COVID-19 levy yetua, dollar tax yetua, and then free. Abandoning sunny far or the train Ghana for or the Marine or the Benkum edge. Na benkum na woje the more and not na 2021 kwano fuel bo ekosoro by 9 cities and the fuel esa be kosoro biom ready adoma come Monday ye betua ka bo ka
eno na buy na
40%.
I buy na to fuel
na fuel bo na kofa no mu nyina ba
and na maybe sasa buy na to fuel the man
and you buy na to na one
regulated policy
senior he and you ma ma fuel bo no kosoro
automatic
and you ma mienu na ma fuel bo no kosoro
okay eno na dey
in fact taba in this I don't know some before kai akohwi something pro mo kai ni bi ni say Ghana ye two oil e okroma also oil bo airful na mo President Mahama and na banonim ono mo kuje to Blakwa man good brother and others also almost filling stations na President Mahama point is almost filling stations no more increase fuel cost they be omo beton yen ska go mbotom. This was the propaganda they were peddling around or no be propaganda asem who are more propagandists than MPP for atrocious men among okroma. But it's true. And then you must fuel bo e cost number 1 Sydney bo enyina fa akonintra. Sydney bo enyina fa akonintra because import OMC import crude oil at the bar. Omo di Sydney kokko import oil na the aba. Omo de bedu a essence dollar ne bo e cost ntino na Sydney bo no for the bar na eba form no sika obo ne ko import oil na ebe cost so they have to increase it. And then number 1. Number 2, taxes are banned there too. Crude oil sunti and na born e kosoro. And as I speak to you, no, fuel price can be reduced if the government is willing to do that.
But
I think the ASEM or
mebajo yen situate no many year. Taxes said that petroleum products in the sono. I admit say taxes in that sono. A dose. But we should also know, say, we are in a deregulated market. If I form one, automatic adjustment formula, a year juma. Ye kwa kodi bro, na unse etete ba for me tena radio so ka say. MPP for mu hwe ni ye na man fa ma me bom wansa for yin say mo na mama for form one kofo because say AAF e na ye juma. I've been consistent with fuel. Ye the your politics and one make us say say no. One man of one say mu jai because ye do NDC deregulating in 2015 no. AAF na ye juma. But so who can on taxes and they are fine. But the cost really AAF.
Good. I am talking about the taxes issue here. Okay. The prices are going up because of the taxes. Because one, I am mismanagement of the economy, and two, the recklessness of the government, and three, the ineptitude of the president and his appointees. Because on policies, you know, they are bad, and more we are. So, and you see the boy a crown a cosro, dollar the boy a crown a cosro. And I ban the tax a copy so. It fuel, ukoto fuel, our pump station. Tax a gusun kwan over 47%. I bet no fuel boy any day. It's a banning fuel or ye taxes in free war. President Bob form. That's what I mean. And he talked about these hospitals. Let's put on record. I ban by see this hospital Bakubia. In San Tronja Kanenja. One Kaza Horo menu, the health minister. I didn't think before signing. Or parliamentary committee, and we must also must see only 43 or 1 chip compounds. Almost see this hospital be and the vetting just 1 year ago. And to me, who da almost see this hospital, and almost CSC. He couldn't even mention one place. I want him. He said something very laughable. Also, the digitization. Tell me, was the banker, and I may buy Momo, so I'm a boy. And I saw, pastor, we have 1.75 by free so.
I don't know. Okay, we are.
Of course.
Tax house here.
What year?
Who tax house?
Minimum time on better. And I also they want to 50 by 5. I can't go home when you. Oh, but do you happen a period over far phone? Daddy, you didn't leave at breakfast. Oh, sorry. Don't worry, let me send you Momo. Or send him Momo come out bus when you enjoy your nipper. I could for some shell quick, my 1.75.
Over my. I say,
Michelle, what you want 1.75? Somewhere I can't wait for. So, digitization, I walk out. And you digitization. I told you, Midi. Huh? I told you, Midi. What digitization, the Kusi saying? Digitization, I walk out. And I'm Crofoko Boch and Kuse ko register SIM card. Digitization, not go develop app. Oh, you register SIM card. Baunim. Go online and also go Google Play Store. OIS Deben store. Okwa app send na wo. Download the app no, install your phone so be app na. Details send na wo. Enter this data no so enter we are. Send it. O send there. I be call the central data center. And the agency also use data na betime use. And mo tumi yes ah. What did I want now to yam piasa digitization? Abu Ghana. Digitization number Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia Vice President. What any assemblyman or bought house numbers no and I was your boy and the house number Bob and feature Maduanidi. A term of school fees. A term light bill, a term water bill. And the Ghana Water Company. And here the next 2 years, the next few years, you should know.
Say, Mbaki Bibia. Mumma, I didn't encourage you. I didn't say, be a senator. Meno, to say, sir, house way night, one of the Bobono. No problem of Ghana Post there. And then ye babe ye say Dr. Baumia and done dino. Say I didn't know any Ghana Post there, so I say. But ye bibia young carry what to quack man on a pen when him said the address system near the eti. It's the end of the yeah.
Because they are the bonu. But abandon a bon.
Oh, what boss say?
Abandon bon.
Yeah, digital address system.
Abandon bon. Me call register for me voter ID. Me call register for me voter ID card. You're taking by data, and I'm a boy.
Okay.
NHIL. I say NHIS. NI. Also, you buy your data.
Good.
And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, NHIS card come home send biometric. Huh?
NHIS. Yes.
How many agencies? And so biometric.
NHIS.
How many agencies? And on what you bio data Oklahoma.
By your pay the credible card near the registration.
And yes, credible card ASEM. Data should be synchronized.
Yes,
so there be one agency in here, you can fetch it from their data.
Okay, so now
yes, sir. And about make digitization, digitization, I achieve it then. That's the question I'm asking here.
Okay. Madam say,
so when you see me,
interoperability,
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 so was scanning the eba. Or say energy crisis, Madika can answer. But you see,
what I say,
we are
not at all. We are not now. This is man so obi person commenting on one of the issues.
This is NDC, the Green Book, official document of the party, of the government. Account to the people. Oko page 137. Look, these are categories of a human NDC created here when we're in power. A t-shirt in human real jobs. In fact, Senate indicated this between 2009 and 2015, 364,665 new workers were registered on their database, amounting to 19,032 new private businesses. Okay, these are official data that came from Senate. Kumasi Shoe Factory, it created 2,000 jobs. So 200. Savannah Cement, Buipe, 2,000. Ghana National Gas, Atuabo, 1 billion infrastructure project in this year. And this government under President Mahama. And it created 265 jobs. And then MPP boys in Kwa. Youth in agriculture, 23,000. Okay? In fact, free zones, 16,372 in between 2010 and 2015. The list goes
now
on and on.
Figures here,
I said that these are official, undisputable figures. It goes on and on and on. Yet the graduate business support, youth enterprise support, 10 million Ghana cedis was allocated into that fund. It supported a lot of youth. At the same time, President Mama Begun Mau, I break all this and share with air tour. Now all OC schools, OC hospitals, OC airport, OC market, OC stadia, OC boxing arena, so they may have training skills and others, At the same time, he allowed the private sector to flourish. Okay? The private sector flourished because Indian businesses flourished. Dr. Dufo, the business, economy, Makineku, YouTube, mention the rest. The environment were conducive for people able to create businesses and employ others.
All right.
Okay, when
I was on Babegu now, one problem, bana ya same way. Because insurance companies are we are mono. What you just want viable and to say you recapitalize your meba Mama Kwa Mano so Alexander Kwaku Tete or ye president the mass citizen I Ghana na. Especially the road accidents, they were notified, say, or person commenting a crowd on any other issues. Alex Kwakutete, Yamuache.
You're my dear.
As you say,
also, I want to say,
Yamiadon Boko, their chair,
despite Ronaldo, the media phone in our Boabasso.
Yo, yeah, that's it.
No more idea, catch on, say, Chiom. Your mama more than but your more can be a can be Crema Ghana, a Beboa Ghana Puncho. And yet, I'm just submit you be a but more can be a monk can a Ghana for needy because radio is entertainment, information, and education. Now, Mesha said, road accident, the mayor was attitude and only hear me because Nipa men started driving since 1990. This better you would take the man lances. Nipa no ewu Kumasi point so na ene ma mi to fi Kumasi better na nkan ki good athlete there e ya na me yemo hihye me adrapa fo no me se akwati buzia ama buzia ba no me se only thing you do why say ba DVL o so na ne memo oba yenya impact PMF DVL etfe me ntimi hu say ama buzia so ni buzia na wo dia na because ne ma bienu ni nyina no be buzia I don't understand it because buzia was a smart person. And see, I'm a with the Adikun and Katani Dean when or Dipuzia to money being so.
Let's stick to the issue. What can DVL now? Obion will be called the Bemusay. And what can DVL address it and let's go ahead.
Mamika Tomcho. Almost say, Lances, no. So grab a Nibia as a DVL phone say, every driver. Or Lances, a bewu obey 1 week as a so new notification. Every driver who
if the car accident bakwa and so mu say send your brochete na educating or driving lances ni so say that be ni we when accident obi or suspension be 3 months e to so be no be ko 1 year na 6 months e to so be ya bande ukra and driver for the be careful driver for the kumkufu kuma o omani driving na passing car majeri onam akra to kumase na odi inally no some I Kumasi, Amasa, Obidina, and the feel were cross straight. Outer lane. And the problem of social bike now, air driving now, and car driving near Yadeka, a throat tanker, a different, near Deka at a greater, a different, near Deka to pay a different bear passing your car. Me pake me a throat tanker, oil funding guide, me Kumasi, Madame for Mamma Ford. Our Lord will send a new Christmas time, December, 19 me move you do a master my cry, and none of the master bed. What I say, any person soon the womb. Ain't it a pony on mobile faswa, or mobile, I drive up from a thing who will be driving who said, Debbie, me mistake, the mechanic when you said, and telling the papa who are may be a base this much, yeah, my man drive it. Only a part of the lances, no for drive it, or coffee for the go, the oil care, what you car. And one accident come Ghana 20 years a way to swa. The bay ding and a moody mobwa road safety say may try the coma in Susia every road safety so young good on the police na America MTTD because a college in a road safety mona yet road no and your modia na moody road safety. A queer road in the class yefia a modia guide in there walk I know a people bunny road safety a modia. Car alone, careful Avril, 2 Avril, Nendia, Abidjan, away for Mali. Almost Milo, 6 Avril, 6 Avril. No wait, and I'm crying a snail who make wine. Massa, nothing in our money, I'm more safety for the movie in a cafe. Quine was also I was no wait, a fair quine, it's Debbie. Yam, more safety, and moving.
And yet, me battery, a 1 year safety, Juma. Yeah, can the woman and young woman, you man no na yeah establish your authority be a woman what the omu ye would ya walk no ye wo more a yo ma juma or much sad and no near road safety. A juma told the command road safety and no and ye one more. As I said, one more share. It's here no because I think custom division I one more share cars I can see and a load no a share one more axle weight no money idea na. One more a check is no man. So it's your work, a Jumekua a year and only your road safety.
Good. My Jerry, I am black with so. What do you say? Near to America MTTD, no. Say, the MTTD said, police session, you will be a friend to road safety to say MTTD. Baby, my neighbor, no, my dear, I'm an accident in the a 2 8 because they don't with a pass of my jelly. We want to so say, okay, Kitawi. Utimiti katoka kefie na utim na wakoto home use tights na egu wa be 6 months 1 year 2 years wa brocheni e lodo aba no ma alawo no ta yemfengo ka se na passengers entinem na ka wait be ma quota na yeshi na wonam so a unim impata e de baka na fridge ya will be the bar e ko si di dem mattress will be the bar wokoda so oni dem de yes they abandon na home use tights e be kum di pa no ya alawo ene no mu ewura country nim enti enema bi wo ha e kofo a e se omo hwe ne be ya se ne ye de restriction eto covid ni so no me pepa enti aban no mageri enti ni kenya ma ya so shele se ni go so aye ken enti wo ye strata ya omo tie nankade bia opanesi ba betenase no makata sa enti impact be na ya ne ye kenya no aban no otimi fa no de yidwuma na de boa ye manfo se ni nyina de bia politics de bia political issue eno eye den ni nkofo a political issue ni nkasa ma ye nkan o be niam a boa ye ne be ma oman ni be ko na anim no yemfa insurance majeri ta wote sika midina fa ko ye ka ma ko 5 je wa go bako tipa truck bako bus VIP bus ta what I said price me Range Rover me we na matwam be 1 million na majeri so wo ye djuma be na transport o ka nya accident da na ye o ye koye comprehensive to ka so na nyame adom o ka ko bobi ana o ka ko kum ni pa na sa o ka to koma na insurance for ne wo twia to the court 2 years. Na osha nti abotire sa okampo etwi kekekra nti insurance no magdin kan kasata aban yetre no onfa ne ni hwe tetane odi ne ni hwe banks ne so no so ne so materi na odi insurance system so bemu na so
eno na aba e ba betu ho anamon na
wacha kra materi unim se open loan wo bank na wa enya bia insurance votimi ma guarantee omo ma me refugee no na
insurance guarantee
insurance be ni we wo ko ma wo pe loan on be guarantee no ma oyo sika no omo nye da den custody omo be yeni nyina e dia ma na wata se enti yes insurance no omo so ne nka kakra bi so omo be ku ni nyina mpo dia ma e size dia me pe na so mo be show ma e commitment because enti mo an ko abrochi material wo de ko tran land kakra oban so me no ka say oban so ko school land wo de bia wo ko land ba majeri insurance e kan insurance nipa passenger car ne nipa tim na akonya accident na yan de bu de nka yan tia car ni mpo kakra na nipa ne wo ne de obi agidem ye twa ne nan ye twa obi nsa because of road accident na wakotren fi ne ni wa ye basa na majeri enya yam se sekanka Ghana police enine obi ye betime ye insurance e compulsory ye be ye ma o nyina obi ye boni tia e na set e insurance asede ye twa ne na minim police fo bi ye twetwom na ye bi kura tetesa no camp wo o rebebo e insurance fo ne ye tajuma we nyina de ma o man no majeri omo take care of e kom ha nipa ho hia wo be fa nya brofo e nipa ho hia wo mo enti yomu ko parliament ode na omo kan omo hu se nipa na wo man nim na to aba enye political issues no enti kwambe na mo be fa so a mo be nipa na hu se nipa wo yo na bo se ne hu nya ne che apan che obia
okay
enti yes tiefo no any panel na ya ba betena se ne se ye tie radio na ebi ye professors ebi ye provo ebi ye hwan enti nipa na eti no wo se asam na wo tie no enye enkenya eboa oman na ne nipa wo mu na mu se ne mo te hwa ye pori wo ya anya de wo ya ye se ya obi abo ba be kakra ko obi antimi nyina enti ni obi abeye bia wa ya de oma eye no de impact be na ye eboa magana fo mu sampa ya ba ye tu ye ya ye de ye ha ye ho a de ma president Kufuado ye de ma president Mahama ye de ma president Atamet ye de ma we no we de ya de nti ene wura ba bia sete bia wo ko ma bia ye no ye ho se ye to aba enti ya omo fade omo ya mo sesom ti omo betena panel no so no mo ka political issue no mo timi kan ye amanyofo ne ye no we de mo ya teacher ni tira de majeri 40 years o we no ko fia edgar ye money ska 40,000 30,000 na obi ya ye juma obi MP ba 4 years people na ya man 480,000 every 5 billion na ono 4 years no na titani no ne homfa so ne thing
okay
all
right okay Alex Kwakutete interventions and also what they about program is so yadase and so submissions are what they about for ejo so yene Alex Kwakutete oye president the mass citizen I Ghana ono na yene no edin community Kisley NIC anamuntu a oba beto recapitalization no na wo ka se wo mo ba be ma amanfo nwuma egu
no ye hwe ha ama nkrofu bi efa ye nwa ewukroma
okay
I think you're also part of the problem. Yeah. Kuni you be adia o. Ye nyina ye dia. Once kuni nyina ye dia no. Every Ghanaian have the right to form a business either individually. In fact, a part of economic freedom and also part of your economic right. The government or ye profess government to represent or no one in Crawford. Make sure say or this no one to protect the economic well-being of the people, and 2, give them not only the economic security, but to also give them social security and protect their lives. So be free abontia. Obeko no asa babeko a obi ntimi nhia no bebia ending them. Ne santin sa o hwe Article 36+1 of the Constitution and the Directive Principles of State Policy. Chapter 6. Here somewhere Constitution the freebest they carry.
Okay.
The state shall take all necessary actions to ensure that the national economy is managed in such a manner as to maximize the rate of economic development and to secure the maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness of every person in Ghana, and to provide adequate means of livelihood and suitable employment and public assistance to the needy. Therefore, there is a constitutionally imposed mandate or responsibility on the state to ensure that every Ghanaian lives a happy life through adequate means and access to decent job, be it one castle business or in the public space. And of course, Ghana is running the mixed system, the mixed economic system, if I can say that. We are not extremely capitalist and we are not extremely socialist, that matter. But MPP are buying back the government is not acting in tandem to the constitutional dictate.
Sunny saying, Sunny, the old Kenyan,
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, because we have a focal area, yes.
I made mention to the jobs President Mahama created through the government. And at the same time, individuals are if your citizens doesn't have a control of your financial sector.
That is correct, but it doesn't also mean say your company be on you. These companies are not viable. The insurance companies.
I will come to that.
Yeah,
don't worry. I will deal with the viabilities. Don't worry. And what kind of the Deportation Act? Is that right? The Deportation Act in 1958 under Nkrumah. Some people have argued that the act was passed mainly to deport some people and make sure Ghanaian economy, which has been under the control of foreigners for God knows how long, is transferred to the control or to the grip of the Ghanaian entrepreneurs and Ghanaian businessmen. So that when we run our own economy, and I will share West Africa. Nigerian banks are more or less taking over the West African financial market. And looking under President Mahama time, there was a conscious effort to make sure that we leave certain Ghanaians compete with the Nigerian financial market or the Nigerian
the time is fast spent.
It's
over substantive.
You get it?
Yeah.
And looking at Indum and others were migrated. Now, Omampene Kufuor ba bem no made ba bem with Adwene say ye be gun krofo adwuma ya brem krofo bi ase na on na busuafo no they left themselves to become the financial moguls of the country, and that is exactly the path they have charted. Yes,
that's the reason.
That's the part of Mocha. You mean normal reasons, no? When Mocha book about Bontin, that book have been leaked. I don't know whether you have a copy.
Book
or for the penny fee Japadi book. Have you seen the copy of that book?
Why not?
We only want of Furiata. The portrait book in Furiata. They come Furiata for so anymore.
Me whom book?
You get me? AGYEMAN Abani. I mean, the minimum capital requirement of the banks was $100 million. 100 million Ghana cedis.
They raise it 400 million.
No, if you 100 million, or they call 400. No more banks in 1 year to capitalize, to recapitalize. how can the banks recapitalize? At the same time, contractors some koji sika every banks no ho ekoye adwuma ma aban sem ntu omoka. Government sem ntu omoka. Because sika na contractors no akoje free government ho akoje free banks no ho ade ya ban adwuma. Kabani tua sika no edema contractors na. The contractors could have been also able to pay their loans or take free banks. The banks could easily have capitalized. That time, I'm not showing. The banks couldn't meet the deadline. Some banks did not have enough liquidity. What did the government do? Some banks were also collapsed because, according to them, the majority shareholder no ewo case in court. And he owned me own a bank. They do a Gongo Capital Bank or the Heritage Bank.
Heritage, yeah.
Go and look at the reasons I'm provided here to collapse Royal Bank, Construction Bank, and others. Go and look at the reasons. And the Konoforia Data Bank, almost say investment bank or whatever they call it. One will boo a flourish. In the book, we read page 4 and page 8, that Ophoria Town for the penny fee book. No. They have made a provision for the phase 2. You got an Indian day and go say about the outcome of the 2020 elections. Particularly the nature of the parliament we have now. Can people put your 2 MPs above in this year? Ghana for Quebec, Tafi and Sao Kuma.
How much your book? No?
How much your book? No?
A book ben now.
Oh, memo copy. Memo pass the general of all people.
I'm also the audio.
You mean how do you
men Jerry of all people. Book a me we.
I was who book
book no why bookshops and
any bookshop we are to a secret book. So we see here.
Okay, anyway. Let's come to the insurance company.
As they did to the banks,
yeah,
they are coming back. So insurance companies, you know, a recapitalization.
Yeah.
Now, sika modia to 2 amosuno. 50 million Ghana cedis deben 150 million. Look, I will petition Parliament.
Okay.
Make petition Parliamentary Select Committee on Finance.
That's good.
To look into this.
Yeah, you have to do that. But Amaleba,
to look into this matter because
I agree with you.
What briefly, briefly.
Yeah.
What expect to Kasa? I don't know whether I said the link.
Okay.
Was saying over 300 people or more will lose their jobs. How are they going to survive? Jerry,
I agree.
Me warrior, you know, born into that. Come on, warrior can tell me.
Hey.
I'm born into that. How do I marry?
Okay, with him, insurance companies, you know, Amaleba, in fact, AGYEMAN so new. Ebi so you're very good.
Even the banks.
So
the banks had problems. With him, the banks had problems. The banks had problems. The banks had problems. Between 2015 to 2016, within the financial sector alone, including the insurance companies, you know, NDC government has passed about 3 or 4 laws or acts of parliament. So, I think that I can't recall the name of those laws precisely. I think the Special Deposit Taking Institutions Act
special
and those
deposit,
banks, acts were passed purposely to deal with the regulatory gaps in what industry anymore.
The banking sector.
Yes, in fact, the financial sector as a whole.
Yeah.
The Ghanaian financial sector to deal with it. Yeah. Insurance companies also account be because they are not banking financial institutions. And we admit the business is facing trouble. Like, what do you do? According to government, these banks needed only 9 billion to survive and to sustain the jobs. You kill them. You are spending over 27 billion Ghana cedis.
22 and
20. In fact, the figures they can't even tell us. But some say it's over 27 billion. It's over 20 billion.
Yeah.
From 9, the person need 9 billion to survive. What they 22 or over 20 billion? What we are saying, man, so no one says doesn't make sense.
Let me also share this my view because a month will be at 1 at that bank. I am mom 50 50,000 though. Obisika is 16 million Ghana cedis. Now one many penny 50,000. Till date. Years back.
Yeah.
Till date. Kano. Every brain and woman sabeka say sikano.
They can't tell.
In fact, we have to ask questions about one of them maybe what problem. Well, the liquidator. What is the issue?
Business faces problems. More to me, or the same. Despite media, I feel bra. Dr. Kwame Despite or the human buy and never caught what Yamanana. A caught what and everything there. No, things can never be rosary.
Yeah.
There may be challenges along the line. He can even call friends to come and help me.
Okay.
He can even go to banks or approach people to help. So that you want to make journey also. Likewise, as a country, the industry be facing problem. How do we do? Government support them. That's what they do to other places. But we kill the businesses and kick people out of job. And today's recapitalization of insurance companies is going to create a huge problem.
Okay, Medan say. Okay, Amalib Kingsley now saying Kana. I'm sorry, Amaliba Kingsley. And I would say in Kano. Nano who say or reactive be quick. Nano who's abia.
Yes, sir, Mark.
Bitio.
Yeah, me that's it. Edin Kano, Miliano Kotu, Article 36 of the 1992 Constitution. I say, I know, I was providing livelihood, now protecting the economic livelihood of the citizens. I know correct. I buy no provide this system in our measures, not the AGYEMAN. They also make sure that institutional supervision and policies are well regulated. And also, Guama says, you will be a deputy and as a Mexico bank, and as a insurance, not a breathless insurance, yes, yeah. Regulation not comes under the same article, no, a binary responsibility to ensure that economic livelihood and empowerment of the citizen is secured and protected. A honor, the American honor. Or say the taxes and the levies are they buy and also no a dozen. Or more parents even say the taxes were so much in the sense that when NTT came, we have to abolish about 17 different taxes, 17 of them, and I abolish here. Again, also digitization. And who am I for so? Let's let me Kingsley say he should be a bit charitable. Not only who say Ghana for a no. A binomo, any amphasone you say, would meet any fee, no a prepaid card, no a talk credit, our phone to 2 apps, our easy. Now they're good, they meet a full fee. Not and also peer one. And I do even 1 a.m. 2 a.m. People buy. And these are the profits. Ghanaians, I enjoy. Maybe your witness and conform to your witness or more cancer. They are enjoying because of the digitalization. Or see you, Mahmoud Daumia, Adani Assemblyman, and Bobo, house numbers, and one conform to you. We have a person in the say the world has reached a stage, the digitized economy, and maybe their competence will be to say. Service our passport from Puniputa and Adibo to Kwamanomia. As we speak, Ghana passport, there be a metal can say, embarrassing so we blue country, this your best kind of passport, you address ya, SSS, and can lead you to the Biautia. Digitization, no, ever boa amasa, problem in a yet resolve it. When Nimiano, Yura, so Freya, not all my inputs, this is a back platform, no sure. We should be very honest. Na yen kind of question. The PBR a bind ya ba oye. Simian suba the way. Was it Nana Kupado Abino came to collapse the bank and enrich a particular section of the country. Mejidi said, some of the banks and the bankers in Ankasano admittedly have said on radios and TV said they were in crisis even before NPP came to power. Now, on one said, it was a public notice said a lot of people who go to banks and institutions said they want to withdraw their money. They were not getting access. And she said, and not only to come and talk for your party, but also helping to educate the public. Let's educate them. I have therefore call to as a consensus now economic empowerment and security of the citizenry. And you falls under the duty of the president said, Obasha education, Ghana ma, ebenya equal and fair, accessible quality education, healthcare. Nana Dankwa Kukwado has taken the highest score in the history of Ghana. The first lady ever, Rebecca Kukwado, a champion constructions of maternity centers, maternity care in hospitals. Amit Makase, I know more than 5 in the history of Ghana. First lady ever has taken it up. And no privilege. Now, I'm talk for not teaching hospital. We are going to get that maternity care. No, it was a privilege. Now, Ghanaians are benefiting from such initiatives. And no, who can it be about a buying on the to understand that everything a buying before it will go to the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian. It's unfortunate NDC crowd themselves as socialist party. And so they rather want to implement capitalist ideas. Now enrich Ghana for and so I buy way no the policy. Back and
Okay.
Now who can say a regulatory system, one man a banking system no no. If you music
Aye.
Majority make my country as we speak. Majority of them are receiving their money. I know people that I was frontlining for them because of my background. And now as we they have been they are so happy. And a lot of them are receiving their money and more of them will get their money. No matter how long. In fact,
yes, Sikana Yira, you, but that come, Sikana Yira, Nana, but that come.
yes.
A quantity DM says, you can once a can you because I know what I'm talking about.
Meaning, Abina has protected over 2 million Ghanaians. No, Musika. In fact, some of the institutions were swindling them. Say, even teacher Nico the salary, need to make a chance to any bank. And the insurance commission, whom said, they have to regulate the insurance policy and the institutions. It is something good. The constitution mandates fair regulation of the institutions in the country, so that individuals know a sort of benefiting from that policy. That institution, no, private person will be owning now the business. He would take undue advantage of the citizenry.
Okay.
Then you know, can say, system no, and never be koye. I'm a share part of it. First and foremost, digitization, and a positive impact on the Ghana economy across the sectors: education, health, any agri, business, commerce. There be a positive impact to our home.
Okay.
Mark, the American Minister said,
yeah.
The NPP government, we are implementing good and sound policy. Kenyans across the length and breadth, seeing the good achievements of the government.
Okay, but that's it. Nana Owusu appear and Nana Sanko Befia, but when to me, Amma, Tina, Anna Yengi, Ewa Homano so. Your usual panel member, a year Saturdays, especially as a medical mediation, and I'll tell you, and I feel material for me Bamo na Monsomon Kebie. And then Sema Hodwa Yashe. Yashe the benchmark value discount on my penny indefinite suspension. Yashe NIC. Insurance companies are ye bear recapitalize woman. Yashe road accidents. Any other issues are Yabroso and Nanope. Also, Chirawadrin na Yanko. Beba Chomache.
Legoso Majari.
Bemena you too.
Ajani morning.
Yanko.
And I don't pay me more tuma papa. Nami for Konya Sunchia, who of a Jackwine, former energy minister, and a Tatus Gruber, and a Johnson Ponkodia. Here, my Jerry, maybe I make am down time for so. Or Fanco Berry, what have I so? And I make sure what give you electricity now, a war, a quan was a fit of will be on. A question a China watching. A security back for Ginahono. Can let me have to free for a while, Kubu, Koshe emoja pegu.
Dabe.
The Ghana for draba for. Koshe de chemi wachina na watching.
Na watching.
What Mr. What if you can make buma na ye kuno? na ekwe car no fa so call ne say the car ni kum papa no wonderful because o ma ye platform kase wo a car no France na wura nchare
okay
etini afro kokum papa no ye to so biom Ghana ebe ye why unye nyina fa papa bonta ke na ndi for jeje na mo ye ne de
me da se ba me fa next one ye to so me ba to ma che yes I yeti o yanko
Again, my mentia, me and my master, someone and appear, the door we are Metiano. Na mentia, then try with now woman organizer, Yama, me Adjoa, also one more than the boss of the Joe. Near I can of them. Marjorie, and a credit, I sent her a sure acquires to know. Mammy a driver, a moon 90%, and I say 80% if you drive it. No, you can tell them any ashia, and I'm assassin to you. Then nobody can move. Catch a memory, a malabase. Some of you are dumb, Mamma Castle, necessary allowance. Our cousin in the end of a French channel. I can't last week ever trouble them. Almost uncle just said, oh, table, so we won't get him a boy. And the young Palasa Magdalene, and you reveal to fear some star. So your mind sounds as a whole present, not a mebu a year to mine yet. What the Yakosha I am for you, Mebu, and Mebu demonstration, like a Mebu said. Unya maji na ndi kwa mafasa bako mane mwenye jumaya na na also si abenti oba a compare so from Ghana for jumaya na the me come me na do buy them on car say Ghana I say heavy na so Ghana awo fo bi komai o mo kaka e same thing say free education on the buy them only be for ma any akra for me na ko ti fi o ma school me what ma ko school me when you fatu ada ke mo di bo bra and then what is the 149 na do so one buy them and me go be
okay me that say me da say me yemfa ofofro ewa ha me ba to ma che Pauli oh okay okay me ba to me mo achi on yetio
Mark Metonga
yeko ai
Mark woni nyankopon hia papa me police in the case na o kan wa Mark da de na police papa na se kwaje come on nyamisha because we say atiti bi woni nti say and bring our side GP abani nya hyehyɛ bi mam na bla person nya tutu e bi so questions ma wo mo yɛ tutu ndo dan hu tan ne me we because agent sisa ye na driver ye mo hyehyɛ no because wo station na hu sa driver ni bi awu na ne yire ene ne ma ba station ne wo bedi a na ya werɛ ho sɛ
okay all right
wo mo hwɛ wo mo so yi na wo mo ho ba mfi agent ne na babu ayi ne nyinaa
me da say yemfa next one me ba to ma che
What you do so, Mr. Marjorie?
yetio be ma
Yo, Mr. Marjorie, I don't pay Lechiana Mama Wabi Japona with you for in action. About the any Idina Ubia Dini, Oba City constituency, every Badia Ubiani about it. May MPP South College President. The Alope Mamin Falcon so Nami Chia, a honorable MP or is true. Honorable Alexander Afrema Ken, Jan Papa. I am a papa, honorable Kennedy, a compare with Japan, the Obia Papa Michel, and honorable MC, our institute, Alaji, Zuberu Kasim, who do not sell Alaji Papa Uli, Alopin Chan Papa. Opening, Alopay, wedding como, na Mokre, Namini, Efano, and your color, Quincia, our year council. Opening, let's say, no, it means na Aya Session Papa. Opening and say Ghana Pinfo one far winning and share the and as a Minister of Road and Highway Authority. Now one work can one more adibi in come. Chair in the Padua from 2020 2021 ɛnam kala kunsia so wahwe wɔ kwa eni yasɔm na openi no ka sei
okay
kakra no so mɛka ne sɛ ɛyɛ yɛn mpanyinfo highway authority adeko a ɛno so ɛde akwanhyia ba papapapa ɛwɔ yɛn kwan so ɛyɛ sɛnea driverfo no binom woyi so ɛyɛ wall light.
All right, okay. Me da say we're wrapping up near corner. Yemfa next one. Ye bring us some. Me ba to mache.
Eju so me nya be mama Jerry na wonti sa.
Nya me adon bako yitio.
Ebe ni me ka tafi kwa benya.
Yanko.
Ma me nchi atlensi Aruna. Wa ya ade papa na the way wa da jesi Yankopon hwa na oye adwuma pa de aboa NDC o my Ghana. Ma Jerry. Ma me nchi ama ade jibini ya itaki janko na Jo ahia ma okọ deputy communication. Eya si film na ya areho. Ma Jerry. It's high time you be kan that here to meet the years. Untimi nkobo bosia embeye nke watch party. Na obi nkobo bosia embeye infrastructure menu ka se mijina kwa bia mitimi hu infrastructure sa joma ma ye no anka betimi atua no hoka. Na obeka se sa ne panel de bo reflected. Na wo nkobo bosia didi watch no unya reflex borrower. It's empty before kasadodo. This year down the line to me amam. No one that said last time performing. Last time performance is another about. No one is a president.
Ah, born now mobile no so enanado.
I am another performance.
Me that say.
Last time performance and another.
Okay, me that say. Hey. Okay, was I ready say. Messages is I'm for move on to where's the McJerry? The NDC guy in your studio is full of propaganda and lies and kwa. Hey, Azape, I believe in where's the Jerry, please? Good morning, please tell Amaliba what he's doing. He's not going to help the people of Boku to get rid of the open defecation of the at the market, just behind the commercial bank, where you take or the free golf estate tema on the pay. Positive change at the free Medina. Also, very dangerous that students who completed their BEC in November 2021 have to wait till April 4, 2022 to go to senior high school. As from one student, Ekufuado has succeeded in collapsing everything, including our education in the country. Any KVIPs. No matter how we go go. Also, what I told NDC. The NDC guy in your studio wants to say, look, let me tell him what he does not know and think he knows. Meanwhile, I don't know anything because the day the whole NDC party will get someone like Dr. Baumia, that day NDC, as on serious party, will gain some level of seriousness. Dr. Baumia is the Mr. Degetama. We say salam alaikum, Magjer, after 5 years, Nanado, onye. Mukaila Jonas, Kerry say if Ghanaians will start thinking about the next generation after them, they will appreciate that the Kufuado, 1D1, the free SHS, and the Kika your children's children will be a benya if I saw the free way, and your Mukaila Jonas. Mystic in Saoma Duejiri, or say it is inarguably clear that incompetent Anado is a state of confusion. Ghana is in a leadership crisis and has failed Ghanaians woefully. No textbooks for basic schools. Economic action, very unbearable. Sloganeering and kwa, where a mistake in Saoma Duejiri. Where's the McJerry? Ebenezer Kwabenyo say, I think it's high time the truth is being told to the clueless and insensitive administration of liability. President Akufo-Addo holding brief, but them won't put food on our table. If JDM borrowed for infrastructure and another borrowed for Wache and Kenke, tell me, who is reckless? Also, the weekend, you think Bobo send the watch anything. Well, so the fact of the matter is this: MPP government don't respect the teachers. Why is it that in number of occasions they demanded government to sit on round table for deliberations? It has. Ishraba Anelka also President Akufo-Addo's government is really working hard to make Ghana work again. We also say good morning, McJerry. Tell also for Chiraboso that I like him very much. Just because of his two policies. One, no more recruitment of police, military, or government agencies, but rather go for more practice for cultivation, land for farming to employ the youth. Second, legalization of marijuana. Where ye AGYEMAN, but ya no, also not the way about. Was it the recent parliament disgraceful behavior with the title, the Ghanaian parliament? Slap, or you can make it the blow, or the push, or the blade cards are descended on the Black Star. Ray, and okay, Madam say. And the Kingsley Amaleba. Kingsley Haruna Amaleba.
Yes, senior.
I don't pay that was you, and then I'll get you to name.
That's so, Mama.
Yeah.
They make a chat to you that they say Ghana is not in the good footing. Only thing is that you remember why she, why you day. Ghana form. You beat me a yes, I bring it say. You bet can you one boom near you political colors now. Now she bonny be a binary to a free break up in the next 2 years. Mampini Kufado. In fact, on Umpodier, most of the people for them when you woo. You see about your mom trouble man Kufado, to me, or mom text message you like a Casanino. They share the business to Kufado, but catches one to Abama Kufado. Mambuna Jegu, a pro atete, a pansam.
Okay.
And we have to do everything possible to resist any draconian policy by the government.
Okay.
Say you live here, you can was and then Begman values are by chance. You're pushing this out. You're not pushing a copy, you won't cheer. And he was saying you're pushing it back. So that the next 2-3 years, December 2024, in a kind of home, you got trouble and permanent people buying no coffee. Okay. Afterwards. When NDC come back, we have solutions to the problem of this country, and we have done that. Indeed, everybody obey out. Uncle read the People's Manifesto. All right. Contact me. I'll give you a copy.
Madam say Kingsley Haruna Maleba, or ye member of the NDC National Communication Bureau. Ono na ye no din komono. Na no usu apia ntimi am joining ye wo ahoma no so. Pius Bedu Bansen, Naomi Obenwa woman ebomi chidom. Bedi aseda bema Dr. Father Dixon na executive producer. Bedi aseda bema mi general manager Kennedy Asante Ose. Bedi aseda bema Kwesi Aboaje. Ono no ye me supervisor. Nyame ya adoma edwada menu bi hia e wo Ghana montie so 5:30 am. Kopim se nondu ebebo. Na mechia obi bia otie ye obi bia happy weekend. DJ Toxic eba be take over. Nature say obebo nyom kama. Yankopon endomishiro bibia. That's ene ye bi hia e wasemi de kaso.
Ya no me bibrime. Ye nya kofa tu yeso. Etu esi be mabo. Okunkunim kofa ejina ne so. Akwara padi kokwe hu ededa mana ekire no. Yeah. Adeshiamra kroma dansidi fo mehwe kasemu kira awawade esumu apai mo hire nya kwa pie awawasem nie we die bi si pen Neat FM yamamwa kwaba